Welcome back to another UCL Fantasy deadline stream for Matchday 5. There's so much to talk about, and hopefully I can last until the very end, which is the kickoffs of the first set of matches on the Tuesday. I'll go through the lineups we get in around an hour's time and also cover everything you need to know. As always, I'll go for as many questions and comments as possible, but try to be patient, especially today, because my voice is already on the edge. It was already bad enough on Sunday, and now it's pretty much on its last leg. So just try to be patient. I'll try to go through everything, but it might be a bit of a struggle, so just bear with me. Welcome, Rowan. You asked Molina or Man City defender. I'd rather go for Molina in general for match days 5 and 6. I know Man City are facing Leipzig at home. I don't think, when I look at that game, I'm looking at a 3-1 Man City. That's my original prediction. I think Molina has more assist potential and also a bit more to play for in match days 5 and 6. But Feyenoord away is going to be quite tough as well. But I'm going to go for Molina there. Venom says, been waiting for the stream. Tell me, do I like the likes of Jimenez, Jesus, Oyarzabal for a -4 or Haaland for a -8? Considering that Haaland could be benched in match day 6, that could already go against that -8. So I'd rather take a -4 and go for Jimenez or Jesus. The last time I checked, Oyarzabal was an injury doubt. I think he had a hamstring problem, so I'm going to double check that for you. But I think I'd go for the -4 for Jimenez or Jesus. Cylindra also asked a question. And by the way, I might not read everything out loud, but I'll be reading it mentally just to save my voice and be a bit more economical with my words. So Cylindra puts thoughts on Romagnoli, Galeno, Sane. Yeah, I saw that. Some predicted lineups don't have Sane in there. The thing is with Sane, he's probably still a keep. It's kind of frustrating because he does play tomorrow at 8 PM. So you might not find out if he's going to play or not, and it's just really going to be a big risk. It's high risk, high reward. But yeah, a lot of predicted lineups that I've seen also say the same thing. Martinez to Lewis, Arsenal defender. Yeah, I'd rather go to an Arsenal defender. Rico Lewis is fine, but I would also just rather go for Saliba or someone like that. As for your other question, Saka or Coman, I'd rather go for Saka. And for the forwards, I think Morata is the most impressive there, Sidindra. Don't take a hit and keep one of the other transfers. Yeah, interesting one. If possible, I would say the -4 hit, but I think it's going to be inevitable for a lot of people to take a -4 hit because they might have 3+ injury problems or rotation risks. But if possible, I would save the -4. Best goalkeeper for both days. Well, it's tricky because I look at the Tuesday and I'm not really a big fan of most of the options. On the Wednesday, it's a bit simpler. I would go for Ramiro, and he's also very cheap at 4.1 million. But for the Tuesday, it's quite more difficult. Maybe you'd go for the Shakhtar Donetsk goalkeeper, although I saw some comments about him being possibly unavailable, Riznik, so I'm going to have to double check that. But yeah, you could even just go for Iñaki Peña as a like-for-like to Stegen replacement, but I'm not a big fan of the Tuesday goalkeepers. Maybe Edison, but if he doesn't keep that clean sheet, you're probably getting a 1 or 2 pointer. Who to captain, Doku or Haaland? I'd just go for Haaland. Keep it simple. There's no need to really, overcomplicate that. Musiala is not officially out. If you check out my YouTube channel, go to the community tab, you will see the latest updates about him. So he's actually in training, but he might not be risked in match day 5. Alvarez start? I can't tell you, to be honest. Gabriel Jesus or Lewandowski, says Orion. I'd actually rather go for Jesus. Welcome, Zodiac. Vinicius and Zaire Emery injured. Who are the best replacements? I think for Vinicius, you're looking at Griezmann or Morata. I think those are really good options to replace him. Of course, if you don't have Haaland or Kane, then they're very simple picks. As for Zaire Emery, it's a bit trickier. Maybe Barrenechea from Real Sociedad, but if you can't stretch to maybe a 6 million midfielder or above, it's going to be difficult. I'm not a big fan of most of the options at the lower price threshold in the midfield. So I'm going to say Barrenechea and Morata. To be fair, if you do go for Vinicius to Morata, you would get enough money to then upgrade your midfielder significantly. So that's something else you could consider. Rodri to Simmons, I'm not so sure if it's worth it. I like Xavi Simons a lot, but I wouldn't buy him when he's facing Man City away. I think it'll be his first official blank of the Champions League season. Welcome, Sanjay. All good. What about you? I'm kind of just struggling against my own voice. Kind of got ill at the exact wrong time, but hopefully it's not a big issue. Cooker says, hey Dylan, how are you? Kim Njai, Molina, Di Lorenzo, Munoz, or Dumfries, pick 2. Inter Milan are expected to rotate very heavily. Even Jan Sommer could be benched, and I would completely avoid Inter Milan in any position. Arnautovic could start, Lautaro could be benched, Thuram, all these players. So it is a shame. I've got Kalinoglu at the moment. So yeah, I think with your two defenders, I think I'd go for Kim Min-jae and Munoz. They're my two favourites. Welcome, Michael Gashaga. Yanon says, good evening. Martin Philip Kessler says, would you swap Mbappe, Lucas Hernandez, David Carmo for Griezmann, Saliba, Munoz for -4? My only concern with that is selling Mbappe as part of a -4. I'm backing PSG for the win, and I think Mbappe will be heavily involved. As for the other two transfers, it looks great, but I'm not sure if I do Mbappe to Griezmann. Maybe you're doing it in order to afford the other two transfers, but I'm not a big fan of selling Mbappe for a -4. Welcome, Dak Daniels, great name. Demantis says, hello, any major injury doubts? Musiala is one of the biggest. Zaire Emery is officially ruled out. Ter Stegen isn't in the Barcelona squad, so he is also officially out. But because of my other issues, and also the fact that I'm not a big fan of the Tuesday goalkeepers, I might just keep him. But I know he's not going to play, of course. So, yeah, he's just going to stay there at the moment. I can always make the substitution during the sub window. 4 injured players, should I wildcard? Depends who these 4 injured players are, but I think it's a good time to do it. Just bear in mind when you are wildcarding, also think about teams that might still have something to play for in Matchday 6. Otherwise, you could wildcard and then suffer rotation anyway in Matchday 6. Yeah, Ter Stegen is out. We have covered. What happened to Sane? He isn't a lot of... he's not in the predicted lineups from what I've seen. I'll try to go through them, but either way, it's difficult to get hold of reliable, predicted lineups before, especially with Bayern Munich playing tomorrow. If I can have a quick look, also with the fact that with Inter Milan, I did see a lineup that I want to share with all of you, so just give me a second. Bastoni could return very soon, but he is officially ruled out for Matchday 5. It looks like Kolo Muani could start ahead of Gonzalo Ramos. That's something else that I'm seeing here. So, yeah, why not? Let's go through some predicted lineups then. So, in terms of AC Milan, they could be going for something like this. Magnan, Calabria, Thiaw, Tomori, Theo Hernandez, Krunic, Reinders, Chukwueze, Loftus-Cheek, Pulisic, and Giroud. In terms of Manchester City, the predicted lineup I'm seeing is Edison, Walker, Diaz, Akanji, Gvardiol, Rodri, Bernardo, Rico, Lewis, Foden, Haaland, Grealish. That would be amazing, by the way, because I've got Foden, Lewis, and Haaland. In terms of Barcelona, it looks like it's going to be Inaki, obviously starting in goal. And Cancelo is expected to start either as a left-back or a right-back. Anything else we have? The PSG predicted lineup. It looks like Donnarumma, Mukiele, Lucas Hernandez, Skriniar, Hakimi, Ugarte, Vitinha, Fabio Ruiz, Mbappe, Kolo Muani, and Dembele. Any other predicted lineups we've got here? So yeah, with the Barcelona one, Peña in goal, Koundé, Araujo, Inigo Martinez, Cancelo, De Jong, Gundogan, and Pedri, Rafinha, Lewandowski, and Joao Felix. But Felix isn't a guarantee to start. Yeah, it looks like Haaland also has returned to training today. That's a massive boost there for Man United, the top scorer or joint top scorer of the Champions League. In terms of Real Madrid, they're missing a lot of key players. Courtois, Kepa, Militao, Tchouameni, Camavinga, Modric, Arda Güler, and Vinicius are all out. Brahim Diaz did train, and of course Bellingham scored yet again over the weekend. He's also back, and I'm looking to buy him myself. If you actually check out my YouTube channel, like I said, on the community tab, you can see all the polls I put out. I'm going to show them very soon as well. They could help you with your decisions. We've already got over 300 people watching, so be sure to smash the like button and subscribe for new. It'd be massively appreciated. But yeah, let's go through some different polls. I think that's probably a very good place to start because it also covers some of your key questions for UCL Fantasy this week. So let's see if I can get them up here, and then I'll go back to your questions as always. So, here we go. Which of these midfielders do you prefer to buy for Matchday 5 and 6? Bellingham still wins the vote with over half of the votings there. Saka's second, and then you got Sane, Trossard, and Coman pretty much with not much of the vote there. But Saka and Bellingham, I'd highly recommend buying for Matchday 5 and or 6. And this is obviously the Ter Stegen one. I provided the update. So what are you going to do with Ter Stegen? And 52% of you are selling him, but it's a very close poll considering that Ter Stegen is officially ruled out of Matchday 5. Also, in terms of the favourite pair of transfers, this is what I could end up doing, and I'll show you some different transfer plans very soon. At the moment, all of you do prefer, or a lot of you prefer, Zaire Emery and Musiala to Barrenechea and Bellingham, but I could also go for Saka instead of Bellingham there. And also here, according to reports, Musiala could return to full team training today, but his participation for Matchday 5 remains a doubt. What will you do with the German playmaker? 70% of you are selling Musiala. And the last one is in terms of David Raum. He's not injured, but he is facing Manchester City away. So what are you going to do with the German left-back? And 55% of you are looking to sell him, 45% are holding on as things stand. But we can put some more polls on my channel and also in this very stream, just to make it even more interactive. And also, we might as well go through this. So the latest on Arsenal is that Fabio Vieira and Ben White weren't in group training. So keep an eye out for that. Ben White just came back from an injury, played a few minutes against Brentford, but he has been suffering with some injury problems in the last couple of weeks. In terms of the Barcelona squad list, Ter Stegen isn't in there. Those are the two biggest updates we have, which is official. The rest is all speculation, predicted lineups, and of course, a lot will be down to speculation. But it looks like teams like Inter Milan could be rotating very heavily indeed, which does surprise me because they still need to fight for first place with Real Sociedad. So let's now go back to your questions. And like I said, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you're new. We've got over 300 people watching and we're almost at 100 likes. So let's be sure to get to that as soon as possible and then push on towards 200 likes. So I just saw a super chat there. I just saw it now. So thank you very much for that. To Ray, you say Vinicius and Musiala is injured, so getting in Haaland and Jude. I think that's very sensible. You're getting two template players, the two highest owned figures in the game. And I think it makes complete sense. There could be issues in Matchday 6 of the rotation, especially Haaland, but I think that's a good set of transfers and you're making the right call there. I don't really see anyone else who's better for Matchday 5, and if they can play Matchday 6 as well, then you can focus on just sorting out the rest of your team there. So I have no issues with that whatsoever. I'm also looking to buy Bellingham myself. Is Haaland starting? I can't tell you this. So a lot of this will be down to opinions. I personally think Haaland will start, but that doesn't mean he definitely will. Do you think Ben White will start? Well, as I just covered, no, because he wasn't in group training. I'd expect it to be Tomiyasu and Zinchenko as the fullbacks again. ¿A quién elegirías entre Álvarez o Doku? En este momento elegiría a Doku, porque Álvarez no parece que está muy... ¿Cómo se dice? No parece que se va a empezar los partidos, porque en contra de Liverpool era Grealish que iba a empezar y Álvarez estaba en el banco, pero después Grealish se cayó mal, estaba enfermo y por eso Álvarez jugó el partido. Y en los últimos partidos para Argentina y Manchester City no está jugando muy bien, así que yo creo que Doku es la mejor opción. Could Hummels be a good pick? He's decent for ball recoveries, same with Schlotterbeck. So the thing with Dortmund is they have done very well. They're top of the group of death, but I'm not so sure if they're going to pick up results in the final two match days. Maybe I'm wrong, and of course they are strong at home, but I'm a bit unsure about that, and I'd still expect them to concede in the next two games. Hello, Saliba and Ramiro or Munoz and Raya? Great question. I'd go for Saliba and Ramiro, but both duos are completely fine. I wouldn't sell Kane unless you see, a reliable journalist or source saying that Kane is going to be benched. I would not sell him, and I also think he's far better than Rodrigo anyway. Sell Alvarez or Raum? Difficult one. Alvarez is less likely to play, but if he does start, I'd say he's more likely to get something than Raum. The thing with Raum is he does get some ball recovery points. He's got good assist potential, very attacking fullback. But looking ahead to Matchday 6 as well, I think I'd rather keep Raum. However, if we see that Alvarez starts now, I would change my mind there. Who would you prefer between Griezmann and Morata? I'm going to say what I said last week. I would prefer Morata. Now, the main reason why I said that a few weeks ago for Matchday 4 is because it looked like Griezmann was going to play midfield. He did, and he still did very well. Got the Man of the Match award. But Morata is more likely to score goals than Griezmann. The thing Griezmann has over him is the assists and the Man of the Match awards. But at the same time, there's a big difference in price between the two. I think you can go for either one and you'll be happy. But I'd rather go for Morata. And that could also open the doors for Bellingham and Saka in the midfield. Would you sell Ter Stegen if my second goalkeeper is Summer? Yeah, in your situation, based on the rumours, and it looks very likely, I think a goalkeeper change is needed. Otherwise, you could be down to 10 men either way. So, yeah, I think in that situation, I would sell Ter Stegen. The problem there is that the Wednesday goalkeepers look better. But then what if Sommer does start and in the end you buy another Wednesday goalkeeper? So it could be a bit tricky, your situation. But ultimately, I think I'd sell Ter Stegen to a Tuesday goalkeeper, which isn't ideal, but it is what it is. What about Jimenez over Morata or Griezmann? Yeah, Jimenez is fine. In this game between Feyenoord and Atletico, if I had to pick a winner, it would be Atletico. I'm also leaning towards a draw, so 2-1 Atletico or 1-1. Jimenez is fine, but I do prefer Morata and Griezmann. Ramon says keep Simmons and Di Lorenzo. If you're looking ahead to match day 6 as well, then they are worthwhile to keep. But for match day 5, I would expect both to blank. Keep Alvarez or sell. As things stand, based on my prediction and the predicted lineups I've seen, I would sell. But there might be bigger fires to put out, like Ter Stegen. You also might have, let's say, Musiala, who's also out, Zaire Emery. And by the way, Musiala, he's not officially out, but he's a major doubt. There's no need for Bayern Munich to risk him because they've secured first position already. He did an individual training, I think, a few days ago. Then he might have done team training yesterday. I haven't seen any updates from Tuchel. I think he did a press conference a few hours ago, but I haven't seen anything. Thank you, Julio Pena, a member for 14 months. That's massively appreciated. So how did I have Ter Stegen, Sommer, Akanji? Yeah, a lot of people have that template goalkeeper duo, and it's not looking good for matchday 5. So what transfers should I make? Okay, Vinicius is out, so he's a sell. Your midfield as well, not the best or the most ideal, but it's fine. I don't think I'd make a change there. In your defense, Dumfries could be benched. Ram is obviously facing Man City. You've got double Man... Okay, no, I said double Man City defense. For some reason, I thought Cancelo played there. Apologies. Yeah, Di Lorenzo facing Real Madrid. 2 goalkeepers, you know, and you might be down to 10 men. You do have a lot of issues. I think in your situation, Julio Pena, I would consider a -4 hit. So what I would look to do is Vinicius to Haaland, or... because you already have triple up in Man City, it might be best to go for Morata/Griezmann. Jesus is also a good option, by the way. Then I would also look to make a goalkeeper change if it looks like Sommer's not going to start. And I will do Ter Stegen to another Tuesday goalkeeper. It's a bit of a difficult one because Ederson, you know, you can't go to him. You've got Alvarez, Doku, and Akanji already. So yeah, you do have a difficult situation there, Julio Pena, but I would make a goalkeeper change to Stegen to any goalkeeper of your choice. I don't think there's many standouts this week, especially on Tuesday. I would also look to replace Vinicius Jr. with an Atletico Madrid attacker or Jesus. And apart from that, I think, yeah, the midfield, they should all start really, but you could make some improvements there as well. I would also maybe look at changing one of the defenders and going for Saliba. I think that's what I'd do, Julio Pena. Let me know what you think. Bayern and City, who will be benched? Good question. Maybe Alvarez. The thing with City, a lot of people keep saying that, you know, Pep is going to rotate. Yeah, you never know with Pep, and he loves rotation, doesn't he? But City still need to secure top spot. If Leipzig beat them at the Etihad, and Leipzig are a decent team on their day, then Man City are in trouble because Leipzig can win their final game and then go top of the group. But yeah, I personally think Alvarez could be dropped from City, and for Bayern Munich, it looks like Sane is predicted to be dropped. Musiala won't play. It's very unlikely that he will, in my opinion. Apart from that, I think Bayern will go quite strong. So Harry Kane should start. They might give an opportunity to Tell, for example, as one of the wingers, or they'll just play Coman and Gnabry. I mean, there's a lot of things that Bayern could do, but yeah, I think Musiala will miss out, and I also think Sane could be benched. We need to know who's going to start from the insider. Yeah, hopefully. He is good with Man City news, so maybe he's got something wrapped up today, and that was really clutch, by the way, in Matchday 4. It pretty much changed my Matchday. I think Koundé will start. I read out a predicted lineup earlier, which does have Jules Koundé. Musiala trained today. Thank you, Luis Miguel. I'll have a look at that. And yeah, Musiala was expected to train anyway. The problem with Musiala is he might not be risked regardless. He could be on the bench or something like that, call him for a cameo, but he might not start the game. Sane or Saka? A Saka for me. Sell Blažević or Sommer, and for whom? Difficult one because Blažević has a really tough game now, but a decent one in Matchday 6. As for Sommer, he could be benched for Matchdays 5 and 6. So, assuming that the Sommer news is true, or the predicted lineups is true, and he's benched, I'd rather sell Sommer. And you've also got better goalkeepers on the Wednesday, like Raya, that you could move to. Will Haaland start? I'm very confident he will. Stones will play? I don't think so. Best goalkeeper for Matchday 5 and 6. For Matchday 5 and 6, my original answer was Ter Stegen, and of course that was short-lived. Difficult one. I'd maybe say Raya. I'd see a clean sheet against Lens and possibly concede a goal or two against PSV, but yeah, I'd say Ramiro would be right up there as well. I'm going to go for Ramiro. Also very cheap. You're going to afford him. So yeah, Ramiro's my final answer. Oyarzabal or Kubo? Overall, I prefer Oyarzabal, The problem is he had a hamstring injury the other week. So, yeah, not too sure what the latest update is on him. Let me just have a quick look and see if I can get any updates. We've got over 400 people watching. Let's be sure to get this stream to over 100 likes, especially if I've answered your question. So let's just have a quick look here. Yeah, it looks like Oyarzabal has recovered quicker than expected. David Silva is one of 3 players injured there for Real Sociedad. But yeah, for Inter Milan, Dumfries is expected to be out until mid-December, by the way. He's got a muscle injury. Bastoni is still out. He should be back by the 3rd of December. I think it's in the game against Napoli. And then you've got Pavard, who also could be out until the end of the year. Yeah, let me know if there's any injury updates you want, some clarification on, and I'll try to provide it. I use different sites to keep on track of everything, but of course, it could be the odd one that escapes me. As someone rightly mentioned earlier, it looks like Musiala did train today. If it looks like he's going to start, then that would be great, but I'm not so sure if that will be the case. So yeah, I'm having a quick look at Twitter already as well, just in case, but yeah. Yeah, the Inter Milan predicted lineup. Let's go through that because a lot of people will be interested in this. Pardon. So, this is what we got according to Sky Sports. I think it's Sky Italia. So they've gone for Aldero in goal, Bisek, De Vrij, and Acerbi as the back three, Damian Fratesi, Aslani, Klassen, Carlos Augusto, Sanchez, and Arnautovic. So there could be a lot of rotation. I'd completely avoid Inter Milan either in matchday 5 or 6 if possible. And that could also mean I sell Calhanoglu. Let's say, for example, Musiala has a good chance of starting and we get that news over the next hour or two. I might keep Musiala and sell Calhanoglu instead to Jude Bellingham, and that could be my final midfield transfer. But that is the predicted lineup we have on Inter Milan, and it's not looking too good there. Let's see what else we've possibly missed. Thoughts on goalkeeper Lunin? Well, Kepa and Courtois obviously out. Lunen's been quite impressive in Kepa's absence. I don't mind that too much. I still think Napoli could score a goal, and Madrid aren't great defensively, but yeah, I think Lunen's fine. He's a decent option. It's just rotation there, mate. I'm actually not too sure why, because Inter Milan still haven't secured top spot. Real Sociedad could win against Salzburg. It's very likely that they will. And despite how poor Benfica have been, you can't play a team like that against Benfica because obviously it's a different case from last season when Benfica were one of the best teams in Europe. But still, you can't really take them for granted. And Benfica have nothing to lose now. So it's a very interesting choice of a lineup if that's the case. Baranechea for Galeno. Well, Galeno is back and he got a brace of assists over the weekend. Yes, Galeno is fit. What's your transfer plans for today? If you check out my poll on the community tab, you'll see all of my transfer plans because it's not one or two transfers, basically, like a set of transfers that is locked in. There's quite a lot of different things I could do. I could even sell Calhanoglu now. Ter Stegen, someone else I could sell, but I think I'm going to keep him because I don't like the Tuesday goalkeepers. Sell Ter Stegen or Sommer. I'd rather sell Ter Stegen because he's officially out. How about Ramiro? I just mentioned him many times today. He's probably my favourite goalkeeper option for the rest of the group stages, so he's fine. Yeah, Rodri should start. I think Man City will go strong. There might be one or two surprise benchings, like, let's say, Alvarez, but I think Rodri will start. Should I sell Sommer or Carmo? I'd rather sell Sommer. Haaland or Morata for captain? Haaland. Feyenoord's a tougher game than Leipzig, especially considering the quality of teams in Man City and Atletico. I think Leipzig is easier for Haaland than Feyenoord will be for Morata. What else do we have? Yeah, any repeated questions, by the way, won't be answered. Try to be patient. Hey Dylan, no wildcard and no limitless, and similar situation as you. Vinicius and Musiala injured. Ter Stegen doubtful. Well, Musiala is in training, but he might not be risked. That's the big conundrum with him. Vinicius is officially ruled out until January. Stegen's missing out. He's not doubtful. I know he's orange on the game, but he's not in the squad, so there's no chance he's going to play. Should I just transfer Vinicius and Musiala? Yes. However, if you don't have a good second goalkeeper, let's say, for example, you've even got Sommer, who might be benched, as you can see on screen. In that scenario, I would also look to sell Ter Stegen, because you might be down to 10 men if you don't do it. But yeah, I think selling Vinicius and Musiala is the best move on paper. I can't guarantee this, Raphael. It's just a predicted lineup, but Sky do tend to get a lot of things right with Inter Milan. How about Immobile? Yeah, I think it's a good option for matchday 5. Not so much for matchday 6, but I think he's fine for now. There's a chance Ederson could be benched for Ortega. Yeah, I mean, look, there's going to be a lot of benchings and surprise packages. That's UCL Fantasy 4. You've got to stomach it. We're not going to have 15 players who all start unless you're wildcarding or limitlessing and get it all spot on, to be honest. Ter Stegen's not going to start. He's not in the squad. He is not in the squad. He is not going to play. It's going to be Inaki Peña. So if you want a cheap goalkeeper, you can go for him. But yeah, it's not looking good for Barcelona at the moment. So Felix, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Hi Dylan, do you think it's good match day for Limitless or Wildcard? Difficult one. I'd rather use the Limitless out of the two. However, there's still going to be benching headaches and the odd rotation, but you can go for players like Saka, Bellingham, Haaland, who you all expect to start, and you can build an amazing squad for matchday 5. A lot of them with home fixtures as well, which plays a big part. But yeah, I'd rather play the Limitless, and then in matchday 6, you could use the wildcard to tackle rotation, or you could save it for matchday 9, the first leg of the quarterfinals, as I discussed in my chip strategy guide. Thank you very much for the kind words, mate. I appreciate it. Let me know what you're leaning towards, but I would rather go for the Limitless this week. Will Doku start? I can't guarantee you it either way. Just bear that in mind, but I think he will start. Should I sell Sane? I think if I had Sane, I'd keep. It's not a ideal situation because it looks like he could be benched. I'm going to try and get the Bayern Munich lineup on screen as well in a while, if I can get hands of it. But yeah, there's going to be so many different things to keep track of. So yeah, we might not be able to go for everything. So yeah, in terms of Arsenal, we've got a few updates now. Arteta confirms Partey is making good progress and expected to be back on the pitch before January. That is massive news for Arsenal. I think Partey is one of the most important players. He also gives an update on Fabio Vieira. We've got a problem with him. He's having some discomfort. He wasn't improving, and we sent him to a specialist. The advice was to have an operation, which we did yesterday. We expect him to be out for weeks now. So Fabio Vieira is out. Let's see if we can get news on more important UCL Fantasy assets. But yeah, at the moment, I don't see anything that important here. But we've got plenty of time. We've still got just under 2 hours until the deadline. Be sure to keep plugging away with the likes, sharing this video around, and also subscribing. We're making big progress towards 22,000. I believe we're around 400-ish away from that milestone. So that'd be greatly appreciated if we can make some big strides today to reach that milestone. I'm also looking at some threads and seeing if I can find anything else on Twitter just to keep you updated. Let's see. So yeah, with PSG, no Marquinhos, he's got a hamstring problem. Zaire Emery also has an ankle issue, so he's out. Also, Keylor Navas, Kimpembe, and Nuno Mendes are sidelined. Anything else we've got? Let's see. Yeah, I'm still waiting for any updates on Tuchel. If you've got anything, be sure to put the link in the live chat. That'd be greatly appreciated because I think that's what I'm really looking to, you know. Yeah, here we go. So I got one quote here from Tuchel, and they ask him about rotation. And he says, it's a possibility, but it's still a Champions League game. We're on a good run, and we don't want to interrupt that. We had a long break from Friday to Wednesday. We're already first in the group, but we don't want to give the signal that it's less important for us. If we make changes, it's only to keep the hunger high. We haven't decided yet how much we'll rotate. So interesting quote there by Thomas Tuchel. I think they'll go relatively strong. Maybe not their full 11. You know, for example, Sane could be benched. Musiala could be rested. No need to rush him back, but they could go very strong there as well. Anything else? We're getting more squads coming in terms of those published by each respective club. Yeah, okay, so Tuchel did provide a update on Musiala. Yeah, he's officially ruled out. So this is what Tuchel said about Musiala. Today, he'll train partially with the team for 20-30 minutes and then continue individually. Hopefully, he will start full training on Thursday. He's not an option for tomorrow. We'll have to see whether it's enough for the game against Union Berlin. Let me get that quote up. That's very important. That means Musiala will be out of my UCL Fantasy team. For some reason, I just went for the Inter Milan lineup again. Don't know why that was the case. Let me see if I can get this. So yeah, you can read the quote on screen. I just did. I don't want to repeat myself for obvious reasons, but yeah, that's big news there. So Musiala's officially ruled out. Same with Zaire Emery. Both of them will be on the chopping block. I might even take a -4 hit this week. Haaland or Morata for Captain Thursday. I'll go for Haaland. Saka or Bellingham. I've got a similar situation, and I'm probably going to go for Bellingham, but that's mainly due to price. I think if I had to pick one in isolation and budget is no issue, I think Saka's slightly better, just because he's more likely to play Matchday 6 as well. A bit more to play for there for Arsenal. But just remember, if Arsenal win against Lens, they will secure first in the group, and then they could rotate against PSV, lose the game, and then things will change. Foden captain. He's a good option, but I don't think I'd captain him. I'll stick with Haaland. Lino or Gordon? I like Gordon in FPL, but in UCL Fantasy, maybe not as much. I think I'd rather go for Lino. Feyenoord is a tough game, though, for Atletico. Should I sell Sane or Garmo for a -4? Tricky one, because we don't know if Sane is going to play or not. He could still start, and if he does, he's a great option. So I'd rather sell Garmo. Well, yeah, Rodrigo's in good form for Real Madrid, not so much for Brazil. I saw him in those games, and he was pretty awful, but I get what you mean. I don't know. Look, Rodrigo's a fine option. I would rather cover Madrid offensively with Bellingham, but you can go for that double up. I'm not against that. I do prefer Morata overall, and Morata's one of the joint top scorers in the Champions League. So, yeah, Morata's my overall preference for match days 5 and 6, but Rodrigo's fine. Di Lorenzo replacement, Kim Min-jae is still a good option. Saliba for me is the best, probably, at least for match day 5. Sell Gordon for Barrenechea for a -4. Not sure it's worth a -4, to be honest. My answer will be no. What about Griezmann and Morata? I think that's a great shout in home matches, but I'm not a big fan of it in match day 5 against Feyenoord away. So my answer would be no. I'd stick to 1. Is Diogo Costa, the Porto keeper, a good option? He's fine. Despite Barcelona's issues, I still expect him to score, to be honest. Davis or Gvardiol? Davis if he starts, but that's the big question, will he? Will Akanji start? I think so. I think I went for a lineup earlier from Man City, and he's in the lineup, so let's wait and see. I think Martinelli will start. I think Arsenal will go quite strong. The big question is, do they go for Havertz in the midfield, or will they play Trossard there on the left-hand side and then put Jesus up front like they did against Brentford? That's the big question, but Martinelli and Saka should be the wingers. Then it's between Jesus, Trossard and Havertz for 2 of the spots, basically. Top 5 Limitless defenders. Check out the best Limitless team video, and that's covered, but off the top of my head, I'd say Cancelo, Kim Min-jae. I'd also look at Saliba. I think those are 3 top options. Anyone else? I'm just going to get up here for myself, because I've got some... yeah, so basically what I referred to in the Matchday 5 best Limitless team, Munoz would be up there as well. And the 5th defender would possibly be Ruben Dias. Just for ball recoveries, and City are the favourites to win that game against Leipzig. Top defenders, yeah, we just covered that, so be sure to refer back to my previous answer. Is Theo Hernandez good this week? Yeah, he's decent. I think Milan-Dortmund, it's a very difficult game to call. A lot of people are going for a draw. I'm kind of stuck between 2-1 either way or a 1-1 draw. But yeah, I think Theo Hernandez is decent. Ball recoveries, a bit of attacking potential. Is Alvarez going to start? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Yeah, ter Stegen's actually out because he's not in the squad, and that means he can't even be on the bench. Do you think Reguilon will play? Not necessarily. I think it'll be Luke Shaw. He's back now. And it could be Dalot or Wan-Bissaka on the right-hand side. Should I get Alvarez out? Of course, it's a tricky one because if he starts, he's got a good chance of hauling, but in recent weeks, he hasn't been that nailed on, and I think he only started against Liverpool, as I mentioned in Spanish earlier in the stream, because Grealish fell ill. Otherwise, it could have been Alvarez on the bench, and he's been in poor form for Argentina Man City, in my opinion. I think I would, but you might have bigger fires to put out. Maguire, I mean, I'll be honest, I wouldn't buy a United defender. They're facing Galatasaray away. They could win it, and I'm backing them to, but I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet. And against Bayern Munich, look, Bayern Munich can play a B team, and I think they'll still, score some goals there. So I'm not sure if I'd go for Maguire. Yeah, Rokas, we answered that question. Like I said, don't spam, otherwise you'll be timed out. Sikan or Immobile? Sikan? I think out of those two, I'll go for Immobile. Ederson or Magnan? Probably Magnan. And like I think Cylindra said, or someone else said earlier, Ederson could be benched. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. Keep ter Stegen. So, look, in your situation, I think I'd sell ter Stegen because someone might also be benched, as we covered earlier. That's a big issue, and you could be down to 10 men. So as a result, I would look to sell ter Stegen. However, if you have Ramiro, who everyone expects to start on the Wednesday, I think I'd just keep ter Stegen and focus on your other fires. So let's now go to my team. Why not? Let's go to my team and my transfer specifically. So I want to see your thoughts in the comment section in terms of, what transfers you prefer. But I could do Musiala and Zaire Emery out for Saka and Barrenechea, and the alternative, of course, is getting Bellingham instead of Musiala. And then here, I would keep Zaire Emery, who's injured, keep ter Stegen, who's out, and bring Bellingham for Musiala, who's also ruled out, and I would sell David Raum, who's facing Manchester City away, and I'd bring in Kim Min-jae. So I might get a clean sheet for matchday 5, but possible rotation matchday 6, and I'm also keeping 2 injuries. The other kind of injuries or transfer plans I'm looking to do is Saka in once again, and instead of selling Raum, it would be Di Lorenzo making way for Munoz. So it's a lot of different possibilities I could do, and I did cover them in this poll right here. So, yeah, these are my transfer plans on screen. Let me know your thoughts. And in terms of the vote, the Zaire Emery, Musiala to Barrenechea and Bellingham transfers are winning out at the moment. I could even push forward from Barrenechea to Stengs, for example, or another midfielder around 6 million. So that's something else I am thinking about. But yeah, I think ultimately when it comes down to it, I think the most likely transfers I'm going to make will include my injured out. So 2 changes in the midfield, unfortunately. So yeah, be sure to let me know what you think. And we'll be going through some more different screens. We've got almost 600 people watching, and we have hit over 100 likes. So thank you to that. Thank you for that, and also for those that send in super chats, the channels and patrons. There's a long list, of course, but I do appreciate all of you. And let's try to get this stream to over 200 likes, and then push on towards more targets. Thank you, Grady. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Is Fran Garcia playing? He's got a chance with all the injuries Real Madrid have. I think he has a decent chance, but I don't think he's a guarantee. I think Rico Lewis will start, yep. Is Lunin good? I think he's fine. I don't think he's amazing. I think Napoli will score, but Lunin's fine. Any player to replace Haaland? Why are you going to sell Haaland? That'd be my question. Herman starts? Yeah, I think so, Joao. I think he will. Sí, seguro. Voy a quedarme con Haaland. Creo que va a empezar el partido y Manchester City tiene que ganar para asegurarse de la primera posición, así que no tiene sentido para poner, no sé, Haaland en el banco, in my opinion. Why captain Haaland over Kane? Because they play on different days, mate. So if we actually go through it, because there's always people who, you know, aren't aware of this. So if we sort this out by date, Haaland plays today on the 28th, Kane plays tomorrow. If you captain Kane, you are missing an opportunity to captain a Tuesday player, and let's say Haaland gets a brace or a hat-trick, and then Kane tomorrow gets 1 goal. You're limiting the possibility of already securing the captaincy on the Tuesday and not having to change it on the Wednesday. So just check out my How to Play UCL Fantasy guide and you will find out. But the reason why I've ordered the bench in such a way is because they're all playing on the Wednesday, and I can bring them on for my lowest scoring Tuesday players during the substitution window. And if you're not sure when that is, you can see it. Let me just get this up. Let me up here, I think here. Yeah, here, subs window. So Wednesday, 29th of November, and the deadline for the subs is when the first set of matches on the Wednesday start. So Galatasaray versus Man United and Sevilla versus PSV. So yeah, that's the way the captaincy works. You're not going to captain Kane now. Captain Haaland, and then if he doesn't do that well, or you want more points from your captain, you can always switch it during the window. Saka or Bellingham? I think Saka overall, based on chance of starting both games. I'm probably going to go for Bellingham myself, based on budget. Yeah, I'd say my Limitless video is still quite valid, to be honest. If I get my Limitless team up now, let me just get this up for myself and go through the Limitless team. So, yeah, I think a few changes I could possibly make to this is instead of Sane, I think I'd maybe go for Coman, just based on the predicted lineups we're seeing. But I would expect, oh yeah, and I'd also sell ter Stegen, which I did already address in those videos as well, that ter Stegen is still a doubt, and he's had an a back injury from his time at Germany. So, yeah, the only changes I'd make are ter Stegen and Sane, really. And if we see news that Sane starts, I'd keep him. And then the only change is ter Stegen. So, yeah, I think the rest is quite nailed on, to be honest. All right. We should get some lineups soon, but they aren't really important games. Hola, Dylan. Un arquero para hoy. Es difícil, te digo la verdad, es muy difícil porque los partidos de hoy no veo muchas vallas invictas. Puedes ir por el arquero de Shakhtar Donetsk. Creo que Riznik va a jugar, pero tenía un problema de lesión en los últimos días o en la última semana. El de Lazio, Provedel, que hizo un gol en contra del Atlético de Madrid. Oblak no es malo, pero yo creo que Feyenoord va a anotar un gol. Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle, no creo que voy a ir por ahí. Milán, Dortmund, mañana puede ser bueno. Ederson, pero también hay rumores que puede jugar Ortega. Y después de Young Boys de Srana Zvezda, no, para mí no. Así que para una jornada, Iñaki Peña de Barcelona puede ser bueno. Y también tienes a... Y para mí Provedel es el mejor arquero de el martes, pero también en la jornada 6 juega con Atlético de Madrid. Así que no es muy bueno, en mi opinión, para la jornada 6. Pero si tuviera que elegir, sí voy por Provedel de Lazio o el arquero de Shakhtar Donetsk. Okay, let's go back to your question. Saliba or Hakimi? Saliba, definitely. Capitán. Como dije recién en inglés, lo que tienes que hacer con el capitán es mirar quién juega hoy. Y hoy juega Haaland, así que Haaland capitán. Y si él no hace un partido muy bueno, anota 6 puntos o menos, después puedes cambiar el capitán antes de los partidos que empiezan mañana y puedes ir por Harry Kane o Bellingham. Así que para mí, Haaland para hoy, y si no juega muy bien o no anota muchos puntos, ahí puedes cambiar a Harry Kane. Muy sencillo. Lewis to start. I also have ter Stegen and Sommer, so any help? Yeah, I think Lewis starts. Don't worry too much about him. If he doesn't, it's not the end of the world. And also, he plays today, so you can sub him out. I would get rid of ter Stegen because it looks like Sommer could be benched. Also, Rodrigo. Yeah, there's a lot of love for him. Now, look, I've mainly seen him on the international stage, and he's been stinking it up. Let's not, sugarcoat it. But for Real Madrid, he has been playing well. And I think he's a good option for UCL Fantasy. However, I do prefer the Atletico Madrid forwards personally. That's just my personal opinion. And I'm also covering Real Madrid most likely with Bellingham anyway. Yeah, I like Real Sociedad defenders. Munoz is my favourite. I covered in my best wildcard and Limitless team videos. He could be a potential transfer for me. So, yeah. Yeah, as I just mentioned in Spanish there, so a good way to translate what I said. In terms of Tuesday goalkeepers, I would go for Provedel from Lazio, or the Shakhtar Donetsk goalkeeper. I think it's Rizniak who is available. So one of those two is probably the best bet. ¿Quién será el arquero de Arsenal? David Raya, seguro. Thoughts on Martinez, Sane, and Romagnoli to Jesus, Coman, and Lewis? I like that. Of course, with Sane, he's not in a lot of predicted lineups, but he could still start. And if he does, he's a great option. But yeah, I think with your team, that looks fairly solid. Just bear in mind that if that's Inigo Martinez, he is actually expected to start by a lot of outlets as well. Mbappe or Sikan? I'd go for Mbappe. Which goalkeeper to target this game week? David Raya, I think, is pretty good. On the Wednesday, from the Tuesday, probably Provedel or Rizniak from Shakhtar Donetsk. And also on the Wednesday, apart from Raya, Ramiro is my favourite overall. So, yeah, I'd say Ramiro and Raya, one of those two for the Wednesday. Who should I sell, Hakan Calhanoglu or Sane? Probably Calhanoglu. I think he's more likely to be benched than Sane. In the end, it could be both, to be honest. Araujo and Foden start? I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I think Kunde will start too. Saka, Morata, or Bellingham and Rodrigo? Saka, Morata is my preference, but to be honest, you can mix it up. You can go for Morata and Bellingham. But look, the double up in Madrid offensively isn't bad at all. Miguel asks, what should I do? I have ter Stegen, Sommer, and Musiala. I would sell ter Stegen, keep Sommer just in case, and I would sell Musiala, because Musiala will not play. That is confirmed by Tuchel. Let me just go to the super chat. Thank you very much, Aaron Rani. I appreciate that. So you say Kane, Haaland, Alvarez, Saka, Trossard, Foden, Jude, Xavi Simons, Dumfries, Burn, Raum. Should I wildcard? So let's go through this. Your goalkeepers are quite weak this week because Sommer might not play. Blažević is facing City. David Carmo's facing Barcelona away. Ostergaard's okay. David Raum facing City. Burn is injured. Dumfries is injured. Yeah, I'd wildcard. I think the defense is already too many issues. You might have one available defender who's good, but it's not really ideal. Your midfield is looking pretty decent, actually. But your forward line, Alvarez, could be benched, and he's been in bad form anyway. So, yeah, I think on the wildcard you can change both goalkeepers, pretty much your entire defense, one or two midfielders, and also Alvarez. So yeah, I'd wildcard there, Aaron, in my personal opinion. Check out my best wildcard and Limitless team videos. There might be one or two things out of date, like Sane. For example, he could be benched, so you might want to go for someone else. But most of it, at least 13 players, I'd say, should start and should do very well. Magnan or Providel, I'm guessing that is. I'd rather go for Providel from Lazio. So Openda or Alvarez? Tricky. I think I'd rather sell Alvarez because with Openda, at least he can start match day 6 and do well against young boys. I think so with Oyarzabal. He was an injury out from last week, but that's been cleared. Theo or Hakimi? Looking at the fixtures, I think I'd rather go for Theo. Why will someone not play? It's not guaranteed. Let me make that very clear. But some predicted lineups from reliable sources expect Inzaghi to rotate very heavily. That's the big problem. Vinicius, Musiala to Haaland, and who? Do I take hits to sell Alvarez and Raul? Not sure if you need to take hits to sell them, to be honest. It's not ideal. But with Raul, let's say Man City scored 2 or 3. Raul could still get 3 or 4 points from ball recoveries. So yeah, I think I wouldn't take hits to sell Alvarez and Raul. I think a -8 is out of the question. I wouldn't do it. I would go for Saka or Bellingham Goldhead if you don't have them already. Who would you put for Vinicius and Musiala? Well, Haaland and Kane are the obvious forwards, but apart from them, I would look at one of Griezmann, Morata, Jesus, or Rodrigo. Take your pick depending on what team you want to target. And as for Musiala, Saka or Bellingham for sure. Will Summer play? I don't think so based on the lineups, so I would sell to Stegen, yes. Any Lazio midfielders you recommend? Not really, to be honest. I'm more intrigued by Providel and Immobile, to be honest, yeah. Thoughts on Stengs? Not a big fan of him in Matchday 5, but I think he's quite good for Matchday 6, yeah. So what will you do? You'll find out, I guess. I haven't even fully decided yet, but I think it's very likely I will sell Musiala and Zaire Emery, and then I could take a -4 hit. Yeah, I'm quite confident, to be honest. I said this against Sevilla as well, and normally I'm quite reserved. I just say wait and see what happens, because Arsenal can make you look like a fool. But yeah, I'm going for 2-0 Arsenal. I don't think they'll win by 4 or more, but I think they can win by 2 or 3. So 2-0, 3-1, 3-0. One of those scorelines is probably the most likely, and I'd say 2-0. That's my prediction. That's what I've got in the predictor at the moment. Transfer for Zaire Emery. I'm considering Barrenechea. Apart from him, you could consider upgrading. So if you've got a lot of funds in the bank, that's perfect. But otherwise, you're probably looking at Barrenechea. Thank you, Evan. Rodri and Sane, or Gundogan and Coman. Overall, I would say Rodri and Sane, but the big issue is Sane is possibly going to be benched. I think for this match day, I might go for the Coman one. I expect him to start, and I think he'll do really well. Is no Haaland and Kane on wildcard basically suicidal? Well, look, with Kane and or Haaland, one of them could be benched in match day 6, but I'd expect both of them to start in match day 5. They've got great home fixtures, especially in Harry Kane's case. I wouldn't go without them, personally. I'd go for both of them, and then you can go for that differential striker like Rodrigo, Jesus, etc. Barrenechea better than Bryce Mendes? Overall, no. He's not better than Bryce Mendes, but in terms of value, he could be a really good option for match days 5 and 6, yeah. Raya and Di Lorenzo, or Sommer and Cancelo? Well, because Sommer could be benched, I'm going to go for Raya and Di Lorenzo, but not expecting much from Di Lorenzo in match day 5, to be honest. Hummels or Saliba? Saliba. Just stick with Saliba. I actually saw a stat today, which is quite crazy. He hasn't been booked in 408 days. If he gets booked in match day 5 now, I apologise, I probably jinxed it, but that's the stat I saw today. He also has done really well for me in UCL Fantasy and FPL. He got me 9 and 6 points since buying him in FPL, and he got me 8 points in matchday 4 when I bought him in UCL Fantasy. Doku or Foden to start? I prefer Foden at the moment. I think he's more likely to start, so I'm going to go for him. I've covered all the changes. I'll probably cover it again in a little while. But basically, Musiala and Zaire Emery are the priority sells. What about Pedrosa? He's okay. Nothing special, I think, but for his price, he could be decent. Choose 2, Sisilindra. Saka. And I would go for... I think for this week, I'd go for Coman. I think that's really good. Jesus, of course, has done really well in the Champions League, Morata as well, but Saka and Coman catch my eye quite a lot. Yeah. Raya starting? Yeah, I mean, remember, Ramsdale only started over the weekend because Raya was ineligible to play. Otherwise, Raya would have started. I'm very convinced that Raya will play. Gordon or Galeno? Considering Matchday 5 and 6, I'm probably going to go for Galeno. Best differentials this game week on the Limitless. I mentioned some of my Limitless video, to be fair, like Munoz. He's a differential. David Raya, another one. Kim Min-jae doesn't have high ownership. Griezmann has low ownership as well. Phil Foden. So that's already quite a few differentials. Apart from them, I would maybe look at Providel or the Shakhtar goalkeeper on the Tuesday. Not many people will have that luxury. The Nelson2524 says, Hola, tengo a Ter Stegen, Sommer, Musiala, Álvarez, Dumfries y Calhanoglu. ¿A quién quitarías y si tomarías un -4? Gracias por la pregunta. Creo que sí, tomaría un -4. Parece que Sommer no va a jugar. Ter Stegen no va a jugar directamente, así que vale la pena vender a Ter Stegen a un arquero de el martes, por la duda que Sommer no juegue. Musiala no va a jugar, así que vale la pena venderlo a Saka o Bellingham, por ejemplo. Con Álvarez no creo que va a jugar, pero yo lo mantendría en el equipo porque los otros son mayores problemas. Calhanoglu y Dumfries sí, parece que no van a jugar y Dumfries está lesionado encima. Así que en tu situación yo vendría a Ter Stegen, a Provedel o Riznik de Shakhtar Donetsk. También compraría a Bellingham o Saka para Musiala y también vendería a Dumfries para Saliba de Arsenal. Have you played your wildcard? Yeah, I played both of them, mate. I played the wildcard in Matchday 4 and the Limitless in Matchday 2. I kind of regret playing the Limitless in Matchday 2. I think Matchday 5 looks like the best time to use it. You can't play both chips. Well, I'm guessing that's what you're saying. But basically, I'd say the Limitless is best used now in Matchday 5 and the wildcard in Matchday 6 or 9. Saka in, Sane out for -8. Not ideal, to be honest. Not ideal. If Sane's benched, then fair enough. It's worth taking an extra hit, but it is a lot. How's it, Dylan? Welcome, Dave. All good. What about you? Best replacement for Ter Stegen? Like I mentioned just now, it would be Provedel from Lazio or Riznik. They're not great for Matchday 6, but they are decent for Matchday 5. The trouble with the infinite money, aka Limitless, is that I have unlimited picks I can get wrong. That's a good way of phrasing it. Usually I do pretty well on the Limitless in World Cup Fantasy, Euro 2020 Fantasy Football, and UCL Fantasy, but this season I got it completely wrong. I scored fewer points on my Limitless than my normal team without making a transfer, which is a bit embarrassing, but you know, you got to take the losses as they come and learn from them, and I think there was some bad luck involved, Lewandowski and Saka being injured, but yeah, I wouldn't stress too much about it. I think it's a really good time to use it. If you want to see the best Limitless team, check out the video, because I'm not going to be able to, you know, go in detail right now, unfortunately. But yeah, just to kind of give it off the top of my head, I would say Provedel as the Tuesday goalkeeper and Raya would be my two favourites. In the defence, I would go for Saliba, Diaz, Cancelo, Munoz and Kim Min-jae. In the midfield, I'd go for Saka, Foden, Bellingham, Brais Mendes. The fifth midfielder, I'm a bit unsure about. Maybe Coman would be the one. And the front three for me would be Kane, Haaland, and an Atletico Madrid striker, Jesus, or you could go for Rodrigo. And of course, with the team I just mentioned, you can't really go for Jesus. So maybe it's just worth going for a Madrid/Atletico Madrid striker there. Maignan or Kobel playing? I think I'd rather favour Maignan in Matchday 5 out of the two. So yeah. Rodri or Foden for Limitless? I'd rather go for Foden. Higher ceiling there. That would be my preference. Who is more nailed, Ake or Lewis? In the Champions League right now, I'd say Lewis. Just a personal opinion. Best striker for 8.9 million? I'd say Jesus would be my favourite. Then probably Haaland. Thoughts on Stengs? He's fine, but not a big fan of him in Matchday 5, sorry, against Atletico Madrid. But he's fine, you know. I could even buy him myself, but I'm probably going to buy Barrenechea instead. ¿Quién serían mis porteros? No sé tu situación, pero como dije en inglés y español, Para mí, en la jornada 5, los mejores arqueros son Provedel, de Lazio, y David Raya, de Arsenal. Y también tienes a Ramiro, del Real Sociedad. Así que esos son los 3 mejores arqueros y creo que está bien con esos 3. Oyarzabal or Barrenechea? Probably Barrenechea, just for budget. Should I sell Sane for Saka? If you can, yeah, I probably would. The issue with that is if Sane starts, I think Sane could outscore Saka, to be quite fair with you. Thoughts on Zaha? Yeah, could do something against Man United, but not really feeling with Galatasaray players, to be honest. Not for me. I am backing Real Madrid, Man United to win the game. Get rid of Alvarez from -8. Who are you going to sell him to, though? I'm not so sure if I would, to be honest. What about Lautaro? Keep him or change? It looks like he's not going to start, according to the predicted lineups. So, yeah, I probably would... I'd change him to Morata, yeah. Doku or Foden? Foden. Why not Summer? Like I said, he's not in the predicted lineup. A lot of, you know, for example, Sky Italia, they're expecting Inzaghi to rotate quite heavily. That's all been covered extensively. I don't want to go through that again. What's wrong with Di Lorenzo? He's playing Real Madrid, and I'm not expecting him to return. You're probably relying on an attacking contribution there for him to do something. Doku or Foden, yeah, we've covered. Captain Morata. I mean, you can go for it, because then tomorrow you can go for Kane or Bellingham or maybe Saka. So you've got that insurance policy. Some questions are being spammed. Like I said, don't spam, otherwise you'll be timed out. I don't want to do that. Trossard or Calhanoglu? Calhanoglu will probably not play, so Trossard. Best time for wildcard? It's team dependent, but I think for a lot of people, Matchday 6 or 9 looks really good. Oh, okay, thank you, Adash, for that. Thank you. Let me actually check that. I appreciate it. He's got the flu like myself then, it looks like. So I'll have a quick look. So I might have to readdress that point. It's kind of awkward because with Riznik, he was an injury problem last week, and now it looks like he's fine. So let me have a quick look here. So yeah, for those of you that... pardon. For those of you that are looking to get a goalkeeper for Tuesday, Provedel would be my favourite, but he is doubtful for the Tuesday games, for this set of games, because he's got the flu, he's got fever, so he is a major doubt. And then if we look at Riznik, just to... What can I get? Yeah, Shakhtar Donetsk have got everyone available, so... Yeah, I think I'd go for Riznik on the Tuesday. Y también para los que miran en español, parece que Provedel está enfermo y es una duda para la jornada 5. Así que yo iría por Riznik de Shakhtar Donetsk. Get rid of Summer from -4. It's not ideal. If you've got to Stegen as well, I'd rather get rid of him, to be quite honest with you. Kimmich or Doku, I have 7 million left. Well, Doku has the higher ceiling, but Kimmich is more nailed on. And he's got the ball recoveries as well. So Kimmich is going to be a bit more, let's say, safe for that. And as for Doku, yeah, I think I'd probably go for Doku for the higher ceiling, to be honest. Just gonna... My Limitless team says Orion. Ramiro, Provedel, Balde, Saliba, Hakimi, Kim and Jai, Cancelo, Foden, Saka, Bryce Mendes, Haaland, Kane, Bench, Jesus, Sane, and Bellingham. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's a Limitless team. Like I just mentioned now in English and Spanish, Provedel could be out with the flu. He's got a fever, so maybe go for Riznik just to be on the safe side. But apart from that, looks really good. I'm not a huge fan of Hakimi. You're going for a double up in Barcelona defense, fair enough. I might change Balde. If I were you, I'd change him. But yeah, the rest looks amazing. And Sane could be benched, so just bear that in mind. You could always go for Koeman, who might be a bit more nailed on in Matchday 5. Alvarez or Haaland for today? Haaland. Yeah, Kimmich should play. I mean, look, Bayern Munich will rotate in certain positions, but I think Kimmich will start. Duarte Franco says, hey Dylan, how are you? All good, what about you? Taking out Akanji or Ake? I'd rather take out Ake. Akanji seems more nailed on. Yeah, it was FPL Tony who saved a lot of us in terms of the team news. Maybe he can do something today. If Haaland's out, then I don't know what to do, really. I've already got so many injury problems and issues. Odegaard's been off form, and if Sane starts, he's a great option. But as I mentioned a lot of times today, Sane could be benched. In a lot of predicted lineups I've seen, Sane wasn't in it. Thoughts on Galeno? 2 assists over the weekend, just came back from injury. Hasn't been that great since his big haul match day 1, but yeah, he's alright. Also, Odegaard, off form, but I'm expecting him to get back to his best. I think Lons is a good game for him. I think he could produce a good return. So yeah, Miguel, as things stand, based on the news we have, I'd say Odegaard, but if we get confirmation of Sane starting, or it looks like he's going to start, I think Sane all day long. Yeah, I'm going to stay with Lewis, mate. I've got so many issues. I've got Ter Stegen out, I've got Musiala, Zaire Emery out, David Rams facing City, Di Lorenzo's facing Madrid. I've got many more issues. Kalanoglu could be benched. So, yeah, I'm going to stay with him. Yeah, Santiago Jimenez is fine, but tough game for him in match day 5, and I still prefer Atletico Madrid forwards. What's our source for Sane benching? Like I said, it's only predicted lineups. If I had Sane, I'd probably keep him if I was, the one having him. Best keeper for tomorrow. Raya or Ramiro, as I mentioned earlier. Lineups for the early games are out. Riznik starts. Yeah, I think that's a really good call for those that are maybe, who need to choose their goalkeeper. I think Riznik just goes safe with that because Providel could be out with the flu. Top 5 midfielders for Limitless. Pardon. Saka, Foden, Bellingham, Mendes. And the 5th midfielder is a bit tougher. Maybe Bruno Fernandes could be a shout. But I think the 5th midfielder... Interesting one. You could even consider a double up in the Arsenal midfield with Trossard or Odegaard. So I think maybe one of those two or Bruno as your 5th midfielder, but I might have to reconsider that. So let's now go through the early lineups, even though they're not that important, with the exception of Riznik. That's the big news we're all waiting for. So let me just get that up here. Might take a little while. So yeah, we've got... Okay, I don't like that number. Hopefully it does cut very soon. But yeah, we've got almost 700 people watching, and we are just short of 200. So be sure to keep smashing the like button, plugging away, especially if I answered your question. That'd be massively appreciated. We're now going to go through the lineups for the early kickoffs on Tuesday. And then after this, I'm going to be resting. Hopefully I'm better tomorrow, and then I can do some FPL content for Game Week 14, the best wildcard team, transfer tips, team selection, and of course the deadline stream. That is the aim. So yeah, we've got the Lazio. Oh yeah, we've got the Lazio lineup as well. So we're going to find out if Providel starts. And I don't think he does. Oh, he does. Providel does start. So there you go. Providel and Riznik both start. I think either one is absolutely fine. So let's go through that. So the 2 best goalkeepers now, with Ter Stegen out, are both starting. That is great news there for those of you going for these options. So, yeah, let's go for the Lazio one first. Providel, Patrick, Felipe Anderson, Guendouzi, Luis Alberto, Isassun, I completely butchered that, Castellanos, Lazari, Mario Gila, Ravella, and Marusic. So no Immobile there. Some people were asking about Immobile. He is on the bench, and Vecino is suspended, as you can see there. Celtic lineup, I don't think there's many interesting options. I think O'Reilly is probably the best of a bad bunch, but yeah, not really a big fan. And then, yeah, Shakhtar Donetsk, Riznik starts. So you've got Riznik and Providel. Let me know which one you prefer in the live chat with a one-word answer, with their names, of course. And yeah, let's get this stream to 200 likes. We're very close to that. And of course, we've still got an hour left until the deadline. Yeah, Providel's going to start. Yeah, he is in the lineup. Thank you, Goldhead. I appreciate that. I used both chips. Apologies. I used both chips there, Don Pablo. Is Sane injured? I have a quick look for you, but I wasn't aware of an injury. I just saw that he was not in predicted lineup. So I have a quick look for you now and see if I can get anything concrete for you. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's injured. He's not in my injury list here, but I'll try have a look now on Twitter and see if I can find anything on Leroy Sane. Yeah, I think he was in training as well. He was pictured in training. I saw him. So, yeah, I don't think he's injured. And I don't know. It's just the predicted lineups that have thrown me off a little bit. But on a Limitless, I might still include him and just, see if he plays or not. Thank you, Goldhead, once again. I appreciate that. Sane was in training. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're on the same page there. Yeah, UCL Predictor, we can go through that. And I want to see your thoughts on my predictions, how bad or good they are. So, this is it. I've gone for 2-1 Shakhtar Donetsk against Antwerp. I am kind of in two minds about this. It could be 3-1, 2-0, 2-1, but yeah, I think I'll go for a Shakhtar win. I've also gone for 2-0 Lazio. It's between that and 2-1, to be honest. I don't think I'm going to go for another score. I've gone for 2-1 Barcelona, 2-2 between Young Boys and Sverna Svesita, and a lot of their games in the past have ended in draws as well. 3-1 Manchester City, 2-1 AC Milan against Dortmund, 2-1 PSG, 1-1 Feyenoord Atletico, 1-1 Sevilla PSV, 2-1 Manchester United away to Galatasaray, 2-0 Real Sociedad at home to Salzburg, a 2-1 away win to Inter Milan, but I might change this based on the lineup I'm seeing because that isn't looking good. 2-1 Braga against Union Berlin, and 3-1 Real Madrid against Napoli, 2-0 Arsenal against Lens, and 3-1 Bayern Munich against Copenhagen. And I've got the Joker activated, or the booster scored now. So you let me know your thoughts on my predictions. The most important ones right now are the Tuesday games, of course, and those starting right now. I don't think I'm going to have any players involved in the early kickoffs. It's the first time in a long while. But if I were to buy a player from these games, it would be Riznik or Provedel as my Tuesday goalkeeper, with ter Stegen officially ruled out. You can also see the league here. So a big shout out to those that have joined. We've got over 3,000 members, and you can see the league code on the left-hand side of your screen. There is a link in the description below as well. But yeah, some of you are flying, absolutely flying. If we go and check number 1 in our league, he is currently 18th in the world, and he used his Limitless in Matchday 4. So fair play, good stuff there. Be sure to join and see if you can top the table of this UCL Fantasy League. And of course, there is one for FPL if you check out the FPL videos and live streams. Let's now go back to my team. I'm going to lock in my transfers very soon. I'm also considering a -4 hit. Let's wait and see if I end up doing it. But as things stand, I'm quite happy to just use 2 free transfers. Yeah, like I said, not many changes I'd make on the Limitless. Maybe get rid of Sane if it looks like he won't start. If we don't really find out anything, I'd probably just keep him. But I would sell ter Stegen, and I'd go to Provedel or Riznik from Shakhtar Donetsk. Lazio goalkeeper and Odegaard, or Saka and Riznik? Saka and Riznik. Yeah, thank you, Goldhead, once again. I much appreciate. Juan Felipe says, Baranachea in for Stengs and Lewis in for Burn, injured. Thoughts? It looks decent, but yeah, I'm just not sure about Baranachea in for Stengs. I'm guessing you're doing it to... I mean, I don't think you need to make that transfer, actually. Lewis is a similar price to Burn. So, yeah. Look, Baranachea does look better for Matchday 5, I will admit that. If you've got no Real Sociedad attackers, then I would do it. Yeah. What do you think about Elia as an option for this week? Decent. I think he's decent, but... I don't know, I'm probably going to stick with the same old names that I covered in the best wildcard analyst team videos. Thank you very much, Devashish. Much appreciated. You say, hey Dylan, should I transfer out David Raum or transfer Galeno for Foden? I'm also considering Felix for Morata. FYI, I only have 1 transfer left. Yeah, it's a difficult one. Joao Felix isn't guaranteed to start, but I'd probably keep him. And I would focus instead on one of the other transfers. Galeno for Foden, quite interesting. I like Galeno for Matchday 6, not so much for Matchday 5. So I think if I were you, because you'd probably want David Raum back for Matchday 6 anyway, I think I'd do Galeno for Foden. I think that's what I'd do. Yeah, that would be my final answer. Galeno to Foden. Thank you very much for the super chat, and also to Haribo, or Harry Tubo. You ask, could get Haaland for Alvarez and downgrade Sane to an 8 million or less midfielder, have Bellingham and Thuram, maybe Sudakov, yeah, from Shakhtar Donetsk. He's probably another good shout in the midfield. I think he's got back-to-back 9-pointers and now a home game. Then a -4 for a new goalkeeper, have ter Stegen and Sommer. Yeah, I think in your situation, it's worth doing that. So maybe you can do ter Stegen to Riznik or Provedel. The best goalkeepers are on the Wednesday, but there is still a chance the Sommer plays, and if you get rid of Sommer for a Wednesday goalkeeper, that could be a bit awkward for you. So, yeah, I'd get rid of ter Stegen, go for a Tuesday goalkeeper. I would get Haaland for Alvarez, yeah. Downgrading Sane, not ideal, but maybe you can go to Coman. And, you know, if Sane is benched, as some people predict, and Coman starts, that could be a great transfer. As for Sudakov, that's a nice differential. You know, I'm not a big fan of him or that confident in his abilities or his consistency, but he could be a nice shout, I think, with a fixture in mind. And Shakhtar scored 3 times the last time they played Antwerp. So, yeah, I think Sudakov is a decent differential, and I definitely like Haaland for Alvarez, and Sane to Coman, whilst not ideal, could be a great transfer. Aaron as well, thank you very much for another super chat. You ask, Foden or Coman, Kunde or Acerbi? Good question. Assuming they both start, I'd go for Coman. And it's mainly based on the fixture. Now, Copenhagen have, done really well this season in the Champions League. Most of their losses have been very narrow. They were 1-0 up against Bayern Munich and then lost towards the end of that match. But yeah, I think Coman, if he starts, is slightly better than Foden. But then again, with Foden, you are covering the Man City attack, and he's been really good, especially at the Etihad. And as for Koundé or a Serbi, I'd go for Koundé because a Serbi might start, but it could be a really rotated team there for Inter Milan, and I think Benfica will score. So, yeah, I'd go for Koundé and probably Coman, assuming he does start. Challenge for you, best defender for 4.5. There's not really much, is there? A lot of them will now be 4.7 million or above, but maybe Romagnoli, if I'm not mistaken. He could be decent. Francis says, please explain how the Limitless works. Very simple. It's like a free hit from FPL. You have no budget restrictions whatsoever. You have to pick 3 forwards, 5 midfielders, 5 defenders, and 2 goalkeepers. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Apart from that, no budget restrictions. You can buy the most expensive players in the game, and money will be no issue for you. So just very simple stuff. Any Galatasaray players? I'd say maybe Icardi. Icardi could be good. Zaha, as someone mentioned earlier. Apart from that, I don't think I'd go for many other players. And even then, I think Man United will win. Davish says Dan Burn. Wait, what? Devin Burn? Wait, let me just get that. And not Realm. Yeah, okay, there's no need to spam the chat, mate. Yeah, going back to your question, if I can find it. Yeah, the chat is very busy right now, so it's very difficult to find it, but I think I've got it here. Yeah, because you said in the original comment, Dan Burn. Yeah, transfer Dan Burn out. Yeah, I think... Yeah, well, he's out until January, isn't he? So, yeah, I'd rather sell Dan Burn. Yeah, I would. And if you can go to Saliba, easy transfer. So, yeah, Dan Burn to Saliba is my final answer there. Sane y Kane son seguros que jueguen. Harry Kane para mí sí, va a jugar. Hay dudas sobre Sané. Vi algunas alineaciones, predicciones, y Sané no está en el equipo. No sé, para mí va a jugar el partido, pero tengo dudas. Así que no es seguro para jugar Leroy Sané. Who to bring from Paris? Mbappe is always going to be a good option and probably their best. Apart from him, Hakimi is decent. And maybe Kolomuani. He's expected to start, but yeah, probably just Mbappe or Hakimi. Coman or Kimmich? Coman. Kimmich is probably more nailed on in general, but Coman has the higher ceiling, so I'm going to go for him. How certain is Calhanoglu benching? Well, it's not 100% certain, but he was subbed off around 60 minutes last game, and a lot of reports indicate that Inzaghi will rotate heavily. No Sommer, no Calhanoglu, no Lautaro Martinez, no Thuram. It goes throughout the rest of the team as well. Benya, if that means doubling up on Barca defense or Riznik. I'd go for Riznik, firstly. Welcome, Irish BVB. Been a minute. Would you rather Foden and Lewis or Sane if starting and Patrick? I hope you're well. Thank you. I am. Hopefully you are too. I'd go for Foden and Lewis. The thing is with Sane, if we get confirmation of him starting, or it looks like he will, based on a reliable source, then I'd rather go for Sane over Foden, of course. But right now, as things stand, I'd go for Foden and Lewis. Not sure. Not sure. He can still be on the bench and, do something off it. He's on penalties, but yeah. Let's say, for example, you don't have Bellingham or Saka, like myself, and the only way you can do that is by selling Calhanoglu for -4. In that case, I'd definitely do it. No questions asked. Mendes or Barrenechea? Mendes. Limitless Matchday 5 or 6, says Enrique Capellan. Limitless and Matchday 5 for me. Miles H says, hey Dylan, who would you say are your favourite defenders at 4.5 million or under? I was asked this just a few minutes ago. I only gave one name, and it might have been wrong because I'm not even sure. Let me just actually check this. Oh, thank you. So someone tagged me. Shout out to FPL Fever 19. I just saw what he tagged me in on Twitter. This also escaped me. So maybe some bad news for those of you with Kim Min-jae. It looks like he's going to be rested. Kim Min-jae and Choupo-Moting are not training with the team ahead of tomorrow's game. So that could be another change from the Limitless team as well, which I would also advocate. To Stegen, Kim and Jai, possibly Sane will be the changes from that team I uploaded. But yeah, Kim and Jai hasn't trained. Thank you very much to FPL Fever 19 for letting me know by tagging me in that post. So let's now go back to your questions. We've got over 700 people watching. Let's make sure to get the likes up. Our aim, I know it might be a tall order, but we've got an hour left. Let's get this stream to over 300 likes. That'd be greatly appreciated. And also a huge shout out goes to those that send in super chats. I've answered all of them as well. And hopefully my voice lasts for another hour. That's going to be a big ask, but... Well, they've already qualified, mate, but have they scored first? The answer's no. And Pep Guardiola will still play a strong team, in my opinion. If I'm wrong, so be it. But I'm very confident he will. Thank you, that air. Great stream so far. Limitless goalkeeper pairing and best midfielder from PSG. Midfielder. Best goalkeeper pairing would be either Providel or Riznik on the Tuesday, and either Raya or Ramiro on the Wednesday. Take your pick from those four. If I was picking, it'd probably be Providel and Raya. And as for best midfielder from PSG, I'd have to double check that, but not really a big fan of those players. Let's have a quick look now. Let's go to the transfer section and see what we can conjure up. So, yeah. So, PSG midfielders. I mean, Zaire Emery was the best, but now he's injured. It's a big shame. So I think right now the best midfielder... Quite a tricky one, but it's probably between Ugarte and Vitinha. But that's mainly for ball recoveries, unfortunately. So, yeah, there's not really too much really to advocate in the PSG midfield, unfortunately. But yeah, let me make some transfers because otherwise I'm going to forget. So, in my situation, Musiala is ruled out by Thomas Tuchel. He's not going to play tomorrow, and he'll start full training on Thursday. Zaire Emery is out until January, so I'm looking to sell both of them. Now, let's put a poll out on this live chat and see what you lot think. So, let's see if I can get this up. It's taking a bit of a while, but yeah. We'll get back to your questions very shortly, I assure you. A lot of them we have gone through already, but we will go through some key topics once again. So, I'm going to keep this very simple, I think. It's just a question of one player or the other. So, which player would you buy? Would you buy for match days 5 and 6? And I did put out a similar poll on my YouTube channel. So if you subscribe, you'll have you'll be notified of all of those posts, videos, and live streams. So I think I'm going to keep it very simple. I'm going to go for one of these two to replace Musiala. I want to see your thoughts. Even Coman could be a shout. Let me just get that up. So, yeah, and in terms of replacing Zaire Emery, I don't have too much money in the bank, as you can see. I think you can see it here, can you? Yeah, 0 million in the bank after getting both of these in. But, yeah. All right, so let's go back to your questions. Bellingham is winning the vote, but not by much. It's a very close call at the moment. Yeah, thank you, Goldhead. That'd be great, of course. But yeah, first off, we need to get to 300 likes, and then we can get to 400. Is Haaland a must-have? Well, I think for matchday 5 specifically, yes. I think he'll start. He scored 5 goals last time against Leipzig at home, but he could be rotated in matchday 6. That's going to be the big issue. So, you know, for those people that maybe are breaking their team, you know, taking -8s or -12s to get Haaland, that could be a stretch too far. But I would try to have him for sure. Thank you, Mohammed. I've been following you since last year in FPL Gimmick 4. That's very specific. Thank you for that. Great content, man. And you save me from many injured players being in my squad. I appreciate it. Sometimes it is people in the live chat that do keep me posted, such as, like I said, I think it was FPL 19. I didn't get the full name, unfortunately, but, you know, he tagged me, for example, in that news about Kim and Jai. And yeah, I think that's the good thing about the community. We keep each other posted and we're able to navigate all these injuries and rotation. Alice Visual says, reemplazo de Hakan abajo de 6 millones. No hay muchas opciones, pero yo diría Barrenechea, del Real Sociedad. Mbappe or Atletico Madrid forward? Yeah, look, for matchday 5 specifically, I think Mbappe looks better, but overall, I'm going to go for Morata/Griezmann. Yeah, Oyarzabal is a good shout, yep. Munoz or Lewis? I'd say Munoz. Yeah, Diaz is a good option. He's in my best Limitless team for a reason. Um, yeah, Hazel, I'm not sure. I'll have a look. If I missed the super chat, I apologize. I am scrolling up. Oh, yeah. He did send one in. Thank you. I apologize for that. 7.2 million forward, not Man City. Oof, that's a tricky one, mate. That's a tricky one. I'm going to have a look right now and see what I can come up with. 7 point, yeah, because Haaland, for example, who could start, he's just a little bit above that price threshold. Van Olsen looks decent, but facing Barcelona. To be honest, yeah, Sikan's getting a lot of love. I think he's decent. I think for you, mate, considering fixtures and everything, I would say either Sikan or Oyarzabal from Real Sociedad. Those are the two best strikers, in my opinion. Yeah, Elliot also is all right, as someone else mentioned earlier. Those are the three I'd come up with. You know, so for your price threshold that you mentioned, 7.2 million forward or below, not Man City. The final three I'd come up with are Oyarzabal, Sikan, and Elia. Probably in that order, but honestly, take your pick from those three and you'll be absolutely fine. Let me know what you're kind of leaning towards at the moment. But yeah, those three are the best, in my opinion. We have gone for the Lazio and Shakhtar Donetsk lineups already. I'm not going to go through that again, but basically the key news is that both of the goalkeepers, Riznik and Provedel, start. Thank you, Ahmed. Theo or Upamecano for Kim and Jai? I mean, I think Upamecano is good for ball recovery, is good fixture. If he starts, he's my preference, yeah. Wilson Dembele, not a big fan of him. Very wasteful in front of goal. If you want to go for a PSG player, I think Mbappe is the clear standout. I would have said Kim and Jai, Orion, but Kim and Jai hasn't trained, so it looks like he'll be rested for tomorrow. So I'd go for Davis. Thank you, Miss Wee, I think it is. I appreciate that. I have Kylian at the moment since I sold Haaland last week. Should I get him back? Thank you, I appreciate that, Wei Seng. I do prefer Haaland, but I think for those with Mbappe, it is a sort of differential. I do like that. I think Mbappe's been a bit underwhelming in this season's Champions League because last season, he was getting so many 9-pointers and above. Right now, he's only getting 6-pointers max, but I would expect that to change at some point. Yeah, I think if I were you, I probably would make the switch, but if it's for a -4 or -8, I would maybe just stick with what you have. Haaland is 7.3 million, Matic, if you're talking about the question posed there by Hazel. Best defender to get, Saliba, Munoz, they're two good options. Un buen cambio por Sané, Müller o Coman, ¿serían seguros? Y tiene que jugar alguien, ¿no? Así que yo diría Coman es mi favorito en este momento. Let's see what else we have. Hopefully I haven't missed another super chat. But yeah, thank you, Hazel. And also with Devashish, I did go through the question. I corrected myself there. Triple captain, Haaland or Kane? You can't triple captain, unfortunately, in this game. There's no triple captain, only the Limitless and Wildcard. Just captain Haaland right now, and then you can change it to Kane if he doesn't do that well. Since Kim and Jai is rested, should I sell Sané to Coman or Kim and Jai is to one of the Arsenal defenders for -4? Well, because we know Kim and Jai is rested for sure while Sané trained, I'd rather sell Kim and Jai to Saliba. Not ideal. I don't like hits for defenders, but ball recoveries can make it worthwhile. So Kim and Jai out. As for me, I personally think Sané will start. So yeah, I'd probably keep him. Yeah, with Inter Milan, they're rotating a lot anyway. Dumfries is injured. I don't think Thuram is, but they're both expected to miss out. Thuram probably benched, Dumfries out of the squad. Do you think Rodri's going to start? Yes. Kim and Jai alternative on the Limitless. Upamecano or Davis is a like for like, although it is risky. I do recognise that. You can go for a second Arsenal defender like Gabriel. Ben White looks like he's out, so you probably stick with Gabriel there. Or Tomiyasu. Apart from that, Molina is still a decent option, but Feyenoord is a tough opposition. So, yeah, those are some alternatives for you. Let me know what you think. Munoz or Zubeldia? Munoz. Can I transfer the news Limitless so I can be prepared? No, that won't work. Your transfer will be cancelled, basically, for Matchday 6, so it doesn't make any difference. Yeah, Dumfries is injured based on what I've seen. And either way, he's not expected to start. So, yeah, Inter Milan is just on a complete avoid right now. Thank you. Oh my God, that's incredible. Very much appreciated. Key players that are confirmed not going to play. Especially interested about City. Well, he's not confirmed either way. I personally think Julian could be benched, but he's not confirmed to start or to be benched. As for the confirmed players out, Musiala, Kim Min-jae has been rested in training today, so it looks like he's not going to play tomorrow. Who else do we have? Ben White and Fabio Vieira. Well, Fabio Vieira is ruled out for Arsenal. Ben White could also be ruled out. He wasn't in training today. Ter Stegen is not in the squad. Yeah, there's probably a few more, which I'm going to forget now. Vinicius is out. I'm going to have the full list here. I'm going to give you the full list, and yeah, that'll cover everything that, you know, people need to know. So the players that are officially ruled out are Courtois, Vinicius Jr., Camavinga, Kepa, De Ligt, Willock, Gavi, Nemecha, Pavard, Kevin De Bruyne, Olmo. Also Musiala, as I mentioned earlier. Ter Stegen's ruled out. Davis is a doubt, by the way. Not ruled out, but he's a doubt. Same with Grealish and Guerrero. And in terms of suspended players, we've got Demeda and Marcus Rashford. Other injured players, but this was from yesterday, include Stones, Arda Güler, Malacia, Jurian Timber, Ceballos, Militao, Sergio Roberto, Bastoni, Tchouameni, Lamar, Kimpembe, Nuno Mendes, Callum Wilson, Longstaff, Sean Longstaff that is, Kovacic, Barnes, Botman, Sula, and other suspended players include Gilavogi, let's see if I can get this right, Ekelenkamp, Lopa, David Garmo suspended, Vecino, and Musa. In terms of those that have returned from suspension, DePaul and Konoplia, and also those that were unavailable Matchday 4 but are now available. That includes Isak, Danilo Pereira, Depay, Galeno, Osimhen, Asensio, Shaw, Odegaard, and Jesus. And in terms of players who are one yellow card away from suspension, that includes Krunic, Lino, Denis Varro, Melling, Leraga, Samid, Medina, Sotoka, Camara, Benito, Luis Palma, Aslani, Miki, Sikan, who people are looking to buy right now. He's one yellow card away from suspension. Simic, Beidou, Gorna Duaf, Pavolic, Davis is another one. Alfonso Davis, Bruno Guimaraes, Marino, Emre Can, Schlotterbeck, Henriks, Simikan, Camavinga, Alderweireld, Araujo, Boscagli, Lozano, Ramalho, Usman Dembele, Lucas Hernandez, Hakimi, Rodic, Stamenic, Hwang, Ivanic, Mialovic, Oliveira, Tossa, Bonucci, Castellanos, Rovella, Newakup, I think I completely butchered that, and Ocampos. So that's a lot of players that are one yellow card away from suspension, but that's all covered. The players that are officially out, those that are doubtful, those that are suspended, and those that are one yellow card away from suspension. Hopefully that's all covered. That's a lot of information. We do have almost 800 viewers. Let's be sure to rack up the likes to 300 plus, like I said earlier. That'd be greatly appreciated. In terms of the poll, it's a very, very close one. Bellingham is just about winning with 52%. Ideally, I would go for both. So let's now make some transfers because we've got 41 minutes left for the deadline and not enough time, really. Let's see. I mean, could I do something like this? I can't afford Saka and Bellingham without taking a -8, basically, which I'm not a big fan of. Yeah, that's a big shame. If I could do this for a -4, I would have done it. But yeah, I think what I'm going to end up doing is keep Calhanoglu, even though he's probably not going to play. Yeah, or I could still take him out for a -4 hit, but I have to get someone else instead of Saka or Bellingham. So let's see. Let's bring Bellingham in. Let's bring Barrenechea in. And we've got 1.7 million in the bank. We've got 8.8. Could go for Odegaard, which isn't ideal considering his form, but still not a bad shout. Let's see. It's going to be tricky. But yeah, I'm now going to show you my full team without any transfers, and I'm just going to ask a simple question. Would you take a -4 hit in my situation? I think that's going to be the next poll, and then after that we can put some more polls out as well and go back to your questions, of course. Would you take a... Alright, so yeah, I'm going to go back to questions in just a minute. And if you want any other polls, be sure to let me know. So, Joao Felix SL. I think if you're happy with the rest of your squad, yes. I think there are better strikers like Rodrigo, Morata, Griezmann, Jesus. I think they're all better for match days 5 and 6. -4 for Kolonoglu is a good move still. Even someone like Kimmich can get an easy 6-7 pointer. Yeah, that could be right, to be fair. You might be on the right track. And look, 65% of you are saying yes. I rarely take hits in UCL Fantasy. I think I've taken -8. And I've played UCL Fantasy for 3 or 4 years. One of them was accidental, by the way. Trust me, it was accidental. It was before I made videos. So yeah, Arteta confirms Ben White should be available for tomorrow's game. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, that's an update by Charles Watts. -4 for Dumfries to sell him. Yeah, I think so. Is it a good idea to use Limitless? I think so, yeah. I still do. Sav says, hello, Dylan. So I have Alvarez, Kim Min-jae, and Dumfries. Who do you think I should replace? Well, the injured players. So Kim Min-jae and Dumfries, and I'd keep Alvarez. Haaland instead of Morata for captain? Yeah, that's what I'm looking to do myself. 6 million midfielder, Morata for Haaland, because he was injured. But Haaland's back in training. I prefer Morata overall, but Feyenoord is also a tough game there, just like Galatasaray is for Man United. But yeah, 6 million midfielder. I think Barrenechea, 4.7 million, very easy to get. So yeah, I think Barrenechea is my final answer there. And as for Morata for Haaland, I mean, I'd do it, but you might have other injuries or problems like Ter Stegen, Kim Min-jae, who could be out. Also, Musiala, Zaire Emery. There's a lot of issues as well. No City Leagues, unfortunately, under par. If there is, I'll let you know. And I also encourage you to leave any thoughts in the live chat. Sane or Gundogan? Sane, but there are doubts about him starting. Nestor says, es hora de wildcard. Ya lo usé en la jornada 4 y fue muy bueno en la jornada 4, pero ahora hay dudas, como siempre. Y es siempre difícil navegar la jornada 5 y 6 en la Champions League. Lewandowski or Kane? Kane all day long. 5.5 defender options. Saliba. Best midfielder for 5.7 or less. Barrenechea. Yeah, Ram is safe to keep. He can get 3 or 4 points with ball recoveries this week, and he can get a good clean sheet and also some points in matchday 6. Thank you, Sad and Tired. Mbappe and Griezmann. Good attack. Yes. Who would you replace? Well, if it was me personally, I would get Kane or Haaland for Mbappe, but or for Griezmann, just depending on your preference. But yeah, it is a good attack, of course. Thank you, Domenico De Luca. Hola, Dylan. Saludos, hermano. On Limitless, 2 of 3 from Galeno, Foden, Felipe Anderson. And my front 3, Haaland, Kane, Sikan. Is Kane essential? Gracias. Thank you for the question, Domenico. So from the 3 you mentioned, I'd go for Foden and Felipe Anderson. Galeno is a good option in matchday 6, but against Barcelona, I wouldn't go for him on the Limitless, personally. With Sikan, that's fine, because despite the suspension risk, you're on a Limitless, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I think that front 3 is really good. I do prefer Jesus, Rodrigo, Griezmann, Morata over Sikan, but I think Sikan could be a great shout, to be fair. Is Kane essential? Yes. If he starts, I think he has to be in your team, in my opinion. So that would be my final answer there, Domenico. Thank you very much. Yeah, Rodri will play, in my opinion. I don't see any need to bench him. I'd go for Haaland captain over Mbappe. Which Arsenal defender is the best to buy? Saliba. Now, if Arsenal win against Lens, which is likely, they could then rotate a lot of players. So it could be one of Gabriel Saliba being benched in matchday 6. So yeah, it's not like a clear-cut answer, but I would go for Saliba. Saka y Alvarez or Haaland y Barrenechea? Haaland y Barrenechea. Jesus or Mbappe? Difficult for me to say any player over Mbappe, but Jesus is really good in the Champions League, better fixture. The only question is, will Jesus start? I think he will. I'd go for Jesus. Yeah, Stengs is decent. Not great for matchday 5, in my opinion, but for matchday 6, he's good. I don't think someone will play based on the lineups we've seen. Goalkeepers. My favourites for matchday 5 would be either Providel or Riznik. for the Tuesday. And on the Wednesday, it would be either Raya or Ramiro. Same situation as you with Hakan, but already have Bellingham. Yeah, you're in a good place then. So you might have suffered last week, but you're in a good position now. Mbappe or Morata for 5 and 6? Morata. Griezmann or Morata? Difficult. I mean, Morata is more of a goal scorer. Griezmann gets more assists and man of the match awards. Both are really good. But because of price, I'm going to go for Morata. I have Alvarez, Ter Stegen, Sommer, Vinicius, Musiala, Region, and Sane. What do I do? Well, if you have a chip, I would use it. That's for sure. But if you don't, I think the big concerns would be Musiala, Vinicius, and Ter Stegen. So what I do in your situation is do Ter Stegen to Providel or Riznik. I would do Vinicius to any forward of your choice. Could be Kane, Haaland, Rodrigo, etc. And I would also bring in Saka or Bellingham for Musiala there and Nirvik. Hopefully you got that. I would go for Haaland captain. Cheap midfielders, Baranachea. I'm looking to buy myself. I've already wildcarded, mate. I've already wildcarded. Davis or Upamecano. Upamecano, because Davis was doubtful already. I think Upamecano will play. White will play. I don't think so, but he is in contention to start. Miguel Ángel León says, me la juego a Kane y Foden, o si no puedo hacer cambios, aseguro con Saka y Griezmann. Sí, yo lo juego con Kane y Foden. Yo creo que los dos van a empezar el partido. Me gusta Saka y Griezmann, pero como un dúo, creo que Kane y Foden es mejor. Mira, nunca sabes si van a jugar o no porque ya clasificaron, pero en mi opinión Manchester City tiene más para jugar que Bayern Múnich porque Bayern Múnich ya está clasificado como primero y con Manchester City no, porque están jugando con Leipzig ahora. Así que sí, yo lo jugaría con Kane y Foden. Thank you very much for the super chat, Sheriff, and also a huge shout out to those who have sent us super chats today. We've got quite a lot actually, so I appreciate that. Have Vinicius, Kim and Jai, Dumfries, Ter Stegen, and other injuries. We'll do Limitless. Any ideas? Was really waiting for a Limitless video. Mate, it was already up on the channel. What are you on about? There was a best Limitless team video a few days ago. The best wildcard team and the team selection. I pretty much do it every single week. Of course, there are some things now out of date. So Kim and Jai would be removed from that team. I'd also remove, I think the other one I'd remove is Ter Stegen. So yeah, if we go for it now, on the Limitless, I'd go for Providel and Raya. I'd go for Saliba, Ruben Dias, Cancelo, Munoz, and maybe Upamecano. Saka, Foden, Bellingham, Mendes, and maybe I'd keep Sane, although he is a doubt. You can always go for Koeman instead. And in the front three, I would go for Kane, Haaland, and either Griezmann, Rodrigo, or Morata. I think that's what I do. So it's all covered in the Limitless video. Only 2 or 3 changes from that. No City leaks, mate. No City leaks as far as I'm aware. Best keeper for today, Providel or Riznik. Icardi or Mbappe? Mbappe. Dane Peter says Martinez, Dumfries and Sane to Mbappe, Saka and Munoz for a -4. Good question. I'd say yes. Martinez will most likely not play. Dumfries is injured. And Sane, that's the only doubt I have because he could start still. And I like him. So, yeah, I'd definitely say Martinez and Dumfries. Sane I'd possibly keep, though. Doku and Raya or Edison and Garnacho? Yeah, look, I'm seeing a lot of love now for Garnacho after that goal. It's a great goal, but I wouldn't be buying him in UCL Fantasy or FPL personally. I just go for Doku and Raya. And also there are rumours of Edison being benched. I'm not sure how reliable they are. I think Kane will start. I'm less sure about Sane. Have Doku and Alvarez. Who do I take out to get Haaland? Well, I'd rather take out Alvarez if possible. Haaland's back in training, as expected. I mean, who knows? I don't think he will. Real Madrid have like 7-8 injuries anyway. Modric is out, Tchouameni is out, Camavinga's out, so I think they have no choice but to play him, unless I'm mistaken. Arda Güler also out. Brahim Diaz just came back from an injury, I think. What to do with Fran Garcia? Well, I think, like with a lot of situations today, I'd probably keep, if you've got other fires to put out, like Ter Stegen, Musiala, Zaire Emery, etc. But I'm not so sure if he starts or not. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. Thank you, Ram, for the super chat. I appreciate it. And by the way, if you've got any message to put on it, let me know. I'll see it and I'll go for it. So I appreciate that. And also, that's incredible. Once again, thank you for that super chat as well. I appreciate it as well. All of the super chats are genuinely, it helps out a lot. So thank you. Who is better for matchday 5 and 6, Jimenez or Rodrigo? Great question. I think on a whole, I'd go for Rodrigo over the next 2 match days because despite Napoli being a tough team, you would expect Madrid to win, score 2 or 3 goals, and Rodrigo will most likely be involved. Jimenez has something more to play for over the next 2 match days, but yeah, I'd rather go for Rodrigo at this moment in time. No está lesionado Dumfries, podría perder su puesto con Cuadrado, pero no está lesionado. Sí, puede ser que estoy equivocado porque yo vi un sitio y tiene una lista de todas las lesiones y tiene Dumfries como una lesión hasta la mitad de diciembre, así que no sé, puede ser que estoy equivocado. Y de todas maneras no parece que Dumfries o Cuadrado van a jugar en la jornada 5 y Inzaghi va a cambiar el equipo mucho. Kanji Lewis Doku, who to sell for Haaland? I mean, probably one of the defenders. So you might be looking at selling Lewis. It's just risky either way, but I think that's what I do. Yeah, definitely. I mentioned in Spanish a few minutes ago, rotation is always a problem in matchday 6. We're already getting problems in matchday 4, and now matchday 5. It's just absolutely crazy, the amount of injuries and rotation that could happen. So, yeah, it's the most difficult part, I think, of the whole campaign. Dylan, some are not starting. According to the lineups I've seen, which are from reliable sources like Sky Italia, no. Inter Milan are expected to change a lot. So Arnautovic and Sanchez up front, no Thuram, no Lautaro Martinez, also no Calhanoglu. There's a lot of things they're expecting to change. So over 300 of you have voted. Thank you very much for that. And 63% of you have chosen to take a -4 hit in my situation. And I'm guessing that is to get rid of Calhanoglu. But yeah, I think in my situation, I'm probably going to keep Ter Stegen and Ramiro, start Ramiro tomorrow, and that's about it. Keep my defenders as well. At least Di Lorenzo and Raum can get some ball recovery points. So, apologies for the coughing, by the way. There's nothing I can do. I'm probably going to make these changes here. Barrenechea, Bellingham, and I've got 8.8 million to spend. Now, the big question is, who do I go for? I could maybe take a punt on a Coman for a -4 hit. So, who knows? Apart from that, there's Odegaard I think I can go for. Actually, no, he's at 9.2 million, isn't he? Yeah, but there's a few punts I can go for. I can afford most midfielders. Unfortunately, I can't go for Saka. That's a big shame. I mean, look, one thing I could do is, instead of... so I could basically keep Zaire Emery, who's injured, then do, let's say, Di Lorenzo down to a cheap defender, and then that will give me the I can't even speak English now. I can bring in Saka, and I've got 4 million in the bank. I mean, I'm not sure if it's worth it, but I like playing around with different ideas and seeing what we can come up with. So yeah, 4 million. Let's see what defender we can get. Probably no one good. Petric. I mean, it doesn't look too bad for matchday 5. Not great for matchday 6, but maybe Petric could be the one. So yeah, let me know what you think of these transfers. Say yes or no in the live chat. Would you do these transfers? It would mean selling Calhanoglu, but keeping Zaire Emery, but it allows me to get Bellingham and Saka, and I also get Petric, a cheap defender, in for Di Lorenzo, which isn't ideal, but I don't know, maybe you lot have an opinion on it. People are saying no. Okay, fair enough. It's just an idea. Thank you for the super chat as well. Venkat, will Romero, goalkeeper of Sociedad, start? Yeah. There's no news, as far as I'm aware, of Ramiro being benched or Sociedad taking the game lightly. I think they'll go strong. Munoz, Brais Mendes, Barrenechea, Ramiro, they should all start. Oyarzabal too. So yeah, he should start. Ahmed with a super chat as well says, just wanted to say thank you. Your videos are the best. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Although I know you don't like my hurting Chelsea being an Arsenal fan yourself, full respect and appreciation for your UCL Fantasy and FPL videos. Thank you very much for the kind words. And of course, look, we support different teams. I chat a lot of nonsense about Chelsea and other teams, but it's all banter at the end of the day, you would assume. But I appreciate that. Thank you very much for the kind words, and I appreciate the super chat. The same goes for everyone else who has sent one. Hopefully I haven't missed one. I don't think I have. That's good. But yeah, some questions have been repeated, and we have covered a lot of them already. Will Cancelo start? I believe so. Bastoni replacement, Saliba. Just to highlight that now. Yeah, I'd go for Saliba. Which City defender would you go for? Ruben Dias or Rico Lewis, I mean, you could just go for any one of them. I mean, Akanji as well is fine. I mean, no matter who you go for, there could be a benching, either a matchday 5 or 6. Yeah, exactly, Khalid. Unfortunately, I've got bigger issues to really deal with. I brought in Patrick too with Jesus. Can't afford Saka, sadly. You know what? I'm going to put one last poll. And after that, I promise there'll be no more. And we can fully focus on your questions and comments. But like I said, we have covered a lot of them already. But one last poll I want to go through is about my final transfer plans, which I think I'm going to nail it down to maybe 2 or 3 sets. I don't want to overcomplicate it and overthink. Otherwise, I'm probably not going to get them done. So, which transfers would you make? And also, if you check out my channel, there's so many different polls that I've put out, which will help you with your decision making. El Padrino says, do it. Okay, fair enough. Thank you. I do favor what you say. Thank you, Zaid. I appreciate that as well. So are you. So, let's see if I can condense it into 35 characters, which is a big ask, for fuck's sake. Musiala, Emery, and Cal. Let's put Cal. Oh, I don't think I haven't got enough characters. That's a mistake. Or if you're not, you know what? I'm just going to bring in. I'm just going to have to say the players I'm bringing in. So Saka, Barrenechea. This is not the easiest names to spell. And Bellingham. Ryan goal, yeah, Raya's going to start. I'm convinced about that. Saka, Barrenechea, and let's see if I can. Okay, yeah, just about have enough characters. All right, so Saka, Barrenechea, Bellingham from -4, or the alternative would just be Saka and Barrenechea. Yeah, Saka, Barrenechea plus keep Calhanoglu. Don't have enough characters for that, unfortunately. Oh, to be fair, I have spelled that name wrong. Barrenechea. Let's get that out of there. Oh, okay. Just have enough characters. And then the other one, any other kind of transfer plans? Not really, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, then it'll just be Saka plus, I don't know. I mean, at this point, maybe Coman. Or Bellingham and Coman. I think I'm just going to stick with midfield transfers at the moment. I don't think it's worth going for anything else. So yeah, let me know what you think in terms of the best transfers to make. There might be like a autocorrect, so there could be a funny name. We've seen Batman instead of Botman and stuff like that. Nonsense. But yeah, I think you'll know who I'm on about. Doku starts? I think so, but I can't guarantee you it either way, unfortunately. -4 for Trippier to Saliba. As much as I like Saliba, I still think Trippier has the attacking potential, the ball recoveries, and I'd say no. Thoughts, Foden and Trossard? Yeah, I like that. I do. Oh, wait, actually, I'm an idiot, aren't I? Oh, wait. I think I'm an idiot. Yeah, I am an idiot. So I'm so sorry. I can't even afford the transfer I'm saying to make. I mean, that would just be great. I'd get rid of all 3 of them, and bingo. No, it would involve Petric. So yeah, I had a brain fart. What a shock. I always have a brain fart when it comes to polls, or again, autocorrect, but I'll address that very soon. I think Foden will play. Like I said, with any Man City or team news, I can't give you a guarantee. Best goalkeeper for Wednesday matches, Raya or Ramiro. Sikan for a punt. Yeah, I like it. Just remember, 1 yellow card away from suspension. Saka, Coman or Jesus and Coman. Saka, Coman. You'll regret the -4, Dylan. Don't do it. Okay, fair enough. Is Doku likely to start? I guess so. I mean, I'd say he's 60-40 to start. Magnan or Providel? I'd go for Providel. I think Jesus will start, but it's not a guarantee. It's between him and Trossard to start from. I think Havertz could get the nod in the midfield. And if that's the case, it's a direct shootout between the Belgian and Jesus. So I just answered it. So yeah, no need to spam the chat. Will Alvarez start? I'm not so sure if he will. Morata or Jesus? Overall, Morata seems better, more consistent, less injury prone, but I think for matchday 5, Jesus is the better option. Better fixture, higher ceiling. Coman or Mazauri? Coman. Thoughts on Gnabry, Theo and Odegaard? I like all of them, to be honest. And look, that option has won by a landslide, but unfortunately I can't make those transfers, for Christ's sake. I'm going to end that poll. I'm getting a lot of Rodri questions, and yes, I think he's going to start. I don't really see why he would be benched. The nobody, you literally asked if Jesus is starting. I said it. I don't know what else to say, mate. So you got to be put on timeout. Barnechea didn't play well against Salzburg last time. Why him? Well, to be fair, things change. You know, he's at home now. He just scored in match day 4. And also, it's really just down to budget and getting that extra player because their Emery is out. To be honest, you know, something else I'm considering is, yeah, basically just keeping Zaire Emery, get rid of Calhanoglu instead because that allows me to have more money. So I'm actually really considering this -4 hit because it allows me to get Saka and Bellingham. And I think that's a massive differential in a week like this. So, yeah, I think, yeah, just the last part I'm going to put is probably just the actual transfer plans, which I got completely wrong there. So Saka, was it Petric? Yeah, I think Petric, yeah, I'm going to put him in. So, yeah, then we've got 90 minutes left for the deadline. So Petric, Saka, Bellingham. The alternative would be, what else? Petric, Saka, Bellingham. Yeah, I think the other one would just be Bellingham and Barnechea. And that's not spelled right, but it's cool. It's a good idea to use Limitless. I think, yeah, I would use it this week. If I had it still, I'd be using it now. So let's just make that clear. -4 hit. Bellingham and Barnechea. And then anything else. The forward line, I'm leaving it as it is. The midfield is the main issue. It really is. It's the main issue. And then, yeah, let's just see what you lot prefer. Let's just see what you lot prefer. Apart from that, I'm not really looking at other transfers. Saka. Interesting one. I'm not going to leave this to the last minute. At least that's not my intention. So, yeah. And then we'll put Saka and Barnechea as the final option. So, yeah, let me know what you think. I appreciate that. Yeah, just going to keep it simple now. So yeah, remember the second and third options mean no hits. Thank you, Aaron, for the super chat. Let me just go through your question now. Thank you, Godhead, for moderating. I appreciate that. So Aaron says Ramiro and Skriniar or Raya and Acerbi Ostergaard. I'd go for Raya and Acerbi and Ostergaard, I think. Yeah, I think that would be my preference. But to be honest, Ramiro and Skriniar is also fine. I think Skriniar was very good for ball recoveries when he was at Inter Milan back in the day. So I think both are absolutely fine, but yeah, based on the fixture and also chance of clean sheets, I'd go for Raya and Ostergaard. Foden and Petric or Kim Min-jae and Calhanoglu. Well, Kim Min-jae will probably be rested. Calhanoglu is likely to be benched. So yeah, Foden and Petric is the answer. And look at that, 65% of you are going for the -4 hit option. And like I said, I rarely take hits nowadays. Goalkeeper for today, Providel or Riznik. Either one. If I had to pick, is probably Providel. Remove Fran Garcia, Xavi Simons, or Dumfries. I would personally remove Dumfries and Fran Garcia. I'd leave Xavi Simons. He's still decent. Will Neuer start? Yeah, I think so. I mean, they could bench him, to be fair. But I think he'll start. Planning to do Sikan and Lewis. Thoughts on Sane to Saka or Koeman? I'd rather go to Saka still. He's more of a talismanic figure than Koeman is. More likely to be benched in match day 6, Saliba or Gabriel? Difficult. It all depends on the games in between and the way Arteta's rotating. So if Arsenal are top of the group and they've secured first place, I think Saliba is more likely to be benched, potentially, and Gabriel will start there with Kivio, maybe Tomiyasu, depending on White is back as well. There's a lot of things that could change. Arsenal have some very versatile defenders, but I think off the top of my head, I'd say Gabriel's more likely to start, but he's also more expensive. Underpass is -4 for a goalkeeper doing Limitless match day 6. Have someone to Stegen right now. Yeah, it's not ideal. It really isn't, but I think if you're doing that, the Wednesday goalkeepers are better, and you're looking at Raya and Ramiro. For today, Riznik and Providel are decent. So yeah. Yeah, ter Stegen isn't the squad, I know. I've covered it, but I've got bigger fish to fry, if you can put it that way. And Calhanoglu is likely to be benched. Zaire Emery is ruled out. Musiala's ruled out. So those are the transfers I really need to focus on. So, yeah. Which Bayern attack is most likely to start? I'd say Koeman. Can't find a single option on the 9.3 million to replace Musiala. Only like Saka. Yeah, same here. Maybe Coman as a 1 week punt, but beyond that, maybe not the best. Bruno Fernandes or Felipe Anderson. I'd say Fernandes still. Quite difficult though. Best midfielder to own apart from Saka and Bellingham. Good question. I mean, normally it'd be Sane, and if he starts, he is the best. But apart from him, I'd say Bryce Mendes is probably up there. Yeah, I think for the Limitless, I'd go for those 5, yeah. Maybe not Baranachea. Instead of him, I would go for Foden. Yeah, I'd go for Foden. And Ahmed asks, give the best Limitless team one more time. Okay, I'll try to do that quickly. So it would be Providel and Raya for me. Saliba, Diaz, Cancelo, Munoz, and Upamecano. Saka, Sane, Foden, Bellingham, Mendes, Kane, Haaland. And I would probably go for... I think I'd go for Rodrigo now, yeah. But you can go for Griezmann, Morata. You can also go for Jesus if you don't go for the 2 Arsenal defensive coverage. So there's a lot of things you can change up. Even Sikan is a good cheap option. So yeah, that would be the final Limitless team. Then it's up to you what you do. I think I just saw a... Yeah. So Visual says, as an Inter fan, most of Inter's main squad will not be starting. Exactly. We have a poor game against Napoli the weekend, so they'll probably rest. Exactly that. We've covered it extensively in the stream. And that's why I'm completely avoiding Inter Milan. And that's why I'm looking to sell Calhanoglu as well. Thank you, Anaf. I try my best. Maybe today I haven't seemed too patient at times, but it's because my voice is gone and I don't want to repeat myself. And I also want people to know that I've answered, but it is what it is. What about Tomiyasu? He's decent, but long-term, and of course, it's only 2 match days left in the group stages, but the big issue is once Ben White is fully fit and available, and it looks like he is, the main starting 11 for Arsenal will be White, Saliba, Gabriel, and then either Zinchenko or Tomiyasu. So there will be rotation on the left-hand side. Tomiyasu is currently first choice, but yeah, I think what Arsenal will do tomorrow is play Tomiyasu and Zinchenko as the fullbacks, and White will be safe for the Premier League at the weekend. Covered that. Goal giver today, Providel. Covered that. Best Ter Stegen replacement, Providel and Riznik. Pick one of them. Some alternatives, Raya and Ramiro. Hummels or Raum. Considering the fixture now, I'd go for Hummels, but I like Raum in general. Really good for matchday 6. He could get 3 or 4 points on matchday 5. I think that's enough. Anthony Gordon, great option in FPL. Hasn't been the same in the Champions League so far, but he's all right. He's not someone I'd buy. Yeah, I just covered the best Limitless team, the updated version. So basically, the update since then, Sane might not start. Kim Min-jae is expected to be rested. He's not in the squad, or at least he didn't train today for the game tomorrow. Other news includes Ter Stegen. He's officially out, so I'd go for Riznik or Providel instead. No, I use both chips. Wildcard and Limitless, both used. Will Thuram play? I don't think so. I think Inter Milan will play Arnautovic and Alexis Sanchez up front. So yeah, I think I'm going to play my... I'm going to make my moves now. It's not ideal. You know, Di Lorenzo is still a good option. He's got a lot of ball recovery potential. But I might sell him to Patrick because it gives me the money to buy Bellingham and Saka. And yes, I'm keeping Zaire-Emery. I'm keeping Ter Stegen, who are both out for matchday 5. But this way, I'm able to get Saka and Bellingham, which could be a huge differential and a massive plus in matchday 5. Keep Haaland? I think so. The thing is, like I said a few times before with other scenarios, it depends on, do you have other fires to put out? And if so, then I would reconsider, because let's say Ter Stegen out, you've got Summer, you might need to make a goalkeeper change, you've got Dumfries, you've got Musiala, and all these other injury problems like Zaire-Emery. Those would be the priorities, and as a result, you'd keep Haaland, who is back in training now. Is Alvarez going to start? I don't think so, but don't hold me to that. I don't know anything about Man City, unfortunately. Haaland or Saka captain? Well, Haaland plays today, so captain Haaland now, and then you can captain Saka tomorrow. So yeah, that's very simple. Out, Foden or Trossard? I'd rather sell Trossard and keep Foden, but it can go either way, to be quite honest with you. And the thing with Trossard is he could start in matchday 6, whilst Foden could be benched. Ramones says, no sé quién darle mi capitán para hoy. Tengo Álvarez, Foden, Cancelo o Morata. Jesus. Sí, es difícil. Yo pondría Foden como el capitán de esos 4. Balde o Hakimi. Balde. Is it worth to remove Sane and bring Saka? It's risky either way, but Saka is much more likely to start, or more likely to start would be the right term. So, yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult because if Sane starts, he's going to be just as good as Saka, if not better. Rico Lewis will play? Yeah, I think so. Musiala, Vinicius, Julian to Haaland, Morata, Foden, or Musiala, Vinicius, Trippier to Haaland, Saka, Saliba? Great question. I think if I were you, I would go for... Yeah, the big difference really is, striker transfer. Nah, I have to go with the Haaland, Saka, Saliba one then. Yeah, that's the best move in my opinion. Foden or Mbappe captain? I think I'd still go for Mbappe, but Foden's a good shout. Sommer could be benched. Inter Milan are expected to rotate very heavily. ¿A quién quitar de estos tres? Galeno, Xavi Simons, or Gordon? Difficult. They've all got tough fixtures. I'm not sure about that, to be honest, because I like Xavi Simons and Galeno for matchday 6. That's difficult, man. Probably Gordon, if I had to pick, but that's so difficult. Sí, creo que sacaría a Gordon. So yeah, Luis, we covered that. Hey, them just joining in. Musiala to Jude, and is Sommer a doubt? Yeah, Sommer's a doubt to start. He's not injured, but Inter Milan are expected to rotate. And yeah, I'd make that transfer. I think that's quite simple. So we've got 8 minutes left for the deadline. I know it's not ideal. A -4 hit, selling Di Lorenzo, keeping Zaire Emery, keeping ter Stegen. I'm down to 13 men, but I am going to get Saka and Bellingham, and I'm replacing Calhanoglu, who's probably going to be benched tomorrow. I'm also selling Musiala, who's out. And I'm selling Di Lorenzo, who plays Real Madrid anyway, and I'm getting Patrick at home to Celtic, a very big differential with 1% ownership. So yeah, very good for ball recoveries, a clean sheet, and 6+ ball recoveries would be insane, and it would be a great transfer, which would already technically pay off the hit. So yeah, I think this is going to be my final transfers. Let me know what you think. I put a poll out, and 56% of you went for this, the -4 hit. Second place is Bellingham and Barrenechea for free, and that would mean selling Zaire Emery and keeping Calhanoglu. The last one is Saka and Barrenechea. Yeah, same here, Goldhead. It's my first hit of the season. I rarely take hits in general. Griezmann and Morata on pens. I think it's Griezmann, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just... Correct me if I'm wrong about that. I think it's Griezmann. I'm going to have to double check that, though. I want to give you the wrong information. I don't know, mate. Sumit. So an Inter Milan fan earlier said that they've got a big game against Napoli. So that does make sense from that point of view, but they haven't secured first. It's very, very tricky. 2 defenders from Bayern. I'd say Upamecano and maybe Davis if he starts, but he was doubtful. Welcome, Nelton. I'm doing well. What about you? My voice is gone, as you can tell. I've been struggling for it all stream. As soon as the stream is done, I'm probably just going to sleep, unfortunately. But hopefully you're well. So it seems from leaks that Ake might not play. Who to remove from Ivanusek or Ake for a -4? Or do I let it slide because I have a lot of players playing tomorrow? It's not ideal because if you're selling Ivanusek, you're not going to be able to buy many strikers, can you? Many midfielders, sorry. So yeah, and then with the defenders, hits are generally not worth it. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably keep things as they are. I really like Morata though. Yeah. I think Morata's explosive in home games, and he can still get the odd goal in away matches. I really like Morata as well. Thank you, Cylindra. Good luck to you as well. Sane to Jude for a -4. I don't think I'd do a -4, because if Sane starts, he's a great option. Yeah, they can, Jorgens, but still, you're kind of backing a lot on winning that game, and Sociedad are decent. I mean, fair enough. I think for a lot of outsiders, it does seem strange, but those who follow Inter Milan regularly will probably be on board with it, because they have that big game against Napoli, and Inter Milan are the favourites to win Serie A right now. I don't think Sane will be benched, but it is possible. There's definitely a chance. Sane is in the squad. He will be at least on the bench, but I'm not sure if he starts. If I had to say yes or no, I'd say yes, but I don't know. -4 hit on the keeper. Sommer to Stegen, or do I just firm the L? I think I'd take a hit. And look, Sommer could still play tomorrow, so that's where it becomes really difficult. But yeah, I think I'd sell to Stegen. And which is a shame because he's good in matchday 6 as well on paper. Will Doku and Rodri start? I think so, especially Rodri. Mbappe's not a bad shout, but his ceiling has been very low this season. A lot of 6-pointers, not enough 9+ like last season. So we need to see more from him. But I think he's going to have one big return in match day 5 or 6. Yeah, Griezmann's on pens. I just wanted to, make sure. Immobile for Rasmus, anyone? Well, yeah, I'm assuming you're selling Immobile, right? Because he's benched. He's not starting for Lazio right now. So just bear that in mind. By the way, Lazio have been terrible this season in all competitions, but it's a very simple way of buying Bellingham and Saka. -4 hit. I mean, what am I doing? What am I doing? But I think I'm going to go for Patrick in. And that is going to be my final transfers. The first hit of the season, hopefully the last. And we can see how it all ends up going. But I think that -4 hit could definitely pay off with Saka and Bellingham producing massive returns. And if Patrick can get a clean sheet and ball recoveries, I mean, even better. So my final team, I think, will be this. So 3 transfers to be made for a -4 hit. Calhanoglu is likely to be benched, so I'm selling him. Di Lorenzo, not ideal to sell him, but it gives me the funds to buy Bellingham, Saka, and of course, I'm going to get Patrick as well to fund these moves. So, yeah, I think this is going to be the last set of transfers, and that's pretty much it. I think I was on the wrong screen, by the way, so you didn't see my full team in the last couple of minutes, but yeah. 5 million defender. Munoz from Real Sociedad looks good for this week. Yeah. No insider news, unfortunately. Yeah, I know. I'd go for Provedel from Lazio or Riznik from Shakhtar. Either one, depending on who you think is going to keep a clean sheet. It depends who you're selling and buying, but I think this is a week where you could take a -4 hit. You just have to hope that in matchday 6 you also don't take another hit, but it is what it is. Calhanoglu will not play tomorrow, so anyone I can remove just in case. Yeah, I think from those, I mean, ideally I'd sell Ivanusek or Ake, but yeah, I think I'd sell Ake to Saliba. I think that's what I do for you, Aditya. Hi, Dylan. Vinicius, Alvarez, and Ter Stegen to Haaland, Morata, and Riznik for a -4. Yeah. Yeah, I think that looks good. Yeah, I have no issues with that whatsoever. If Alvarez starts, then maybe the hit isn't worth it, but the other moves look great. One midfielder from 28th of November, not City player. We can cover that in a second. Let me just finish this team. I'm going to confirm it. It's not ideal. We have got the lineups here already. Patrick is starting. We've got Provedel as well. Yeah, I'm going to lock in my transfers now. Otherwise, I'm going to forget and I'm going to cry. So Bellingham and Saka do come in. Hopefully they both start. I think they should. Let's bring them into the team now because we've got literally just over a minute. So yeah, I've got to get this done. So yeah, Patrick in for, let me just sort out my date just so I don't bug out. So yeah, let's put Saliba on the bench. Let's also, I don't need to do anything else, do I? So that's it. Patrick in. Confirm. So Patrick is going to start. I've got an early kickoff player. Hopefully Celtic don't score. No offense to Celtic fans in the chat. But yeah, my team is pretty much sorted. I've got Ramiro, Saliba, Saka, and Bryce Mendes on the bench. Zaire Emery is obviously injured, Ter Stegen as well. I'm down to 13 players, despite taking the -4 hit. But I have brought in Bellingham and Saka. And of course, in matchday 6, I could sell Zaire Emery, and Ter Stegen should be back by then, and hopefully he starts as well. So the team isn't looking amazing. David Raum is away to City. I've got 2 injured players, but the rest, the other 12 players, look pretty decent for matchday 5. Let's see what happens. Maybe some of you are going to be like, "What are you doing, Dylan?" But it is what it is. In terms of a midfielder from the 28th, I'd say Foden. I've said it before my Limitless and Wildcard team videos, mate. Foden would be my answer. Yeah, he's the one. I actually said no Man City player. Well done. So, yeah, it's not ideal. I think the other play I'd go for is... I think it's kind of difficult, mate. Gundogan could be a shout. I don't really like many of the midfielders. Maybe the Shakhtar Donetsk one. Let me just get his name up very quickly. I know we're running out of time. Let me just get him up. All right. Let me fucking... It's not letting me get the list of names up, unfortunately. But yeah, we have gone through the deadline. That is it. I've got the captain sorted. But yeah, I think the Shakhtar Donetsk midfielder or Gundogan would be decent shouts. I'm not a big fan of the midfielders on the 28th, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, that's it. We have been locked in. Oh my lord. Don't do that. If I still had Musiala, I'd be crying. So yeah, that is my final team here. Bellingham has been brought in with Saka and Patrick for a -4 hit, and Haaland is my captain. Oh yeah, let's change that. Let's change that so you can see the full team. So yeah, we have kicked off. Apologies if I haven't answered certain questions. I've tried my best, but yeah, it's even more difficult with this stupid flu. We are almost at 300 likes, just 18 away. Be sure to smash the like button, even if you're on your way out. It'd be massively appreciated. And we're still going to go through some more questions and comments. And yeah, the transfers I made in the end were the ones that you voted. So that's it. Let's see. Riznik and Baranechea or Ramiro and João Neves. I would have gone for Riznik and Baranechea. Good luck, Pranav. Good luck, Ardash and Twisted Parky. 3 Leipzig players versus City. Yeah, I've only got 1. But then again, I've also got some issues myself. Yeah, I've confirmed it. I've confirmed it. Thank you for looking out. Mbappe, Griezmann or Morata. Morata's my overall preference due to value, to be quite honest with you. Thank you, Wei Seng. I'll see you very soon. Hopefully, all good for tomorrow so I can record some FPL content. Thank you, Aman. Thank you, Kostav. I played Vitinha. Yeah, decent for ball recoveries. The highest amount of points from any PSG midfielder. Good luck to you as well, Pranav. I have a similar team, use the wildcard. Yeah, if I had the wildcard, I'd definitely use it. Thank you, Sanjay. Like he says, smash the like button, subscribe for new, and share the stream with those that love FPL and UCL Fantasy. Good luck, SQA. Appreciate the streams, Dylan, even when you're ill. Great work. Thank you. Maybe a little bit slower than usual, but I try my best. Hope you'll recover before the weekend. Not sure because I literally got it 2 days ago, but I was feeling better today. Yesterday, when I made the video for the team selection, I couldn't speak for like 1 minute in a row. So I had to do multiple takes or like do deliberate cuts, unfortunately. Best captain for tomorrow, Kane. Yeah, I'd say so. Bellingham and Saka will be right up there as well. I think Saka above Bellingham. Thank you, Punjabi, as well. I appreciate that. It's nothing serious, of course. Everyone gets ill. It's nothing major. But it's just annoying because when you're making a video or stream, you need your voice to be intact, and mine isn't. Now I'm hoping Sane really is benched. Yeah. It's weird because normally I'm back in Sane to do well, but this season I've barely had him. And when I did, he was awful. Swapped all of them out except Haaland, says Football Pundit. Good luck, mate. All the best as well, Arnold. I play Vitinha. Yep. Pranav says trips to Munoz and Musiala to Saka. Is it good? Yes. Yes, it is. Definitely. I forgot about the FPL deadline last Saturday, but I still got a green arrow. Good stuff. Yeah, FPL has been going well for me recently. I'm now back in the top 1 million, around 600,000. And yeah, I'm just preparing the videos now. After the stream is done, I'll probably rest and, prepare those videos as well. Almost done, pretty much setting all of that up. And then it's just about recording them. Avon says, good luck. Likewise. I did a -4 for Vinicius, Emery, Dumfries out for Kane, Bellingham, Patrick, kept Haaland and Carmo. Yeah, Carmo suspended. Haaland, I think, will start, but let's wait and see. Thank you, Fakri. I appreciate that, mate. And same with all the good wishes. Start 2 hours before the deadline next stream. Well, I technically did here, right? I always do that. So if you look at my FPL streams, I start streaming at 9 a.m. UK time when there's an 11 a.m. deadline, and I pretty much stream for over 2 hours. Also in UCL Fantasy, I basically started streaming at 3:30 p.m. UK time, and it's now almost 6 p.m. So yeah, 2 hour streams is basically what I do, with the odd exception with reaction streams, but even they are quite long as well. Thank you, Awali. I appreciate that. Enjoy your game. Please subscribe to the channel. Dylan, lots of love from Nepal. Thank you, mate. It's always a pleasure seeing you here, and I'll see you for more FPL and UCL Fantasy videos. Gracias, Carlos. Sí, el 11 está bastante bueno. Y después está Patrick, que cuesta 4 millones. Zemri está lesionado. Ter Stegen está lesionado. Quién sabe qué va a pasar, pero ojalá que salga todo bien. Y para vos también. Miguel, thank you. Good luck to you as well. Any news on Alvarez starting? Nope. But I personally don't think he will. Thank you, Nuclear Arms. Yeah, it's quite obvious, isn't it, about my voice? It's annoying to listen to, but it is what it is. Twister Parky says my team: Blazwich, Sommer, Fran Garcia, Joao Cancelo, Raum, Rico Lewis, Di Lorenzo, Doku, Schlager. Yeah, Schlager's been good this season. That's a good team, mate. I like that. I do. There's obviously the odd issue. Blazwich is probably your only goalkeeper, and Sommer is a big problem. It looks like he's not going to play tomorrow, but the rest looks good. Good luck, Angel Gachega. Hosea says, I have Kane, Haaland, Mbappe, Saka, Bellingham, Saliba, Cancelo. Saliba, my wildcard in the last minute. Yeah, I made last-minute changes on the wildcard last week. Let's see how that pans out. But yeah, Saliba's a great transfer. And yeah, you made some great moves there. Saka and Bellingham, I mean, you can't go wrong there. You'd hope so. Captain Mbappe says, Wei saying, good luck. Jose says, thanks for the stream, Dylan. Take rest and get well soon. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. The Summer says, good luck. Likewise, mate. After that Gordon Hall, the Chan goal was huge for me. Put me in the top 150k. Hoping to continue the form, but need to decide whether Son is a sell to Saka. I mean, I'll cover that in the transfer tips hopefully very soon, but I personally would say yes. So with Son, it's kind of like, I'd probably hold in most cases, but if you can go to Saka, Salah and Mbumo, and selling Son's the only way to do that, then I would sell him. But apart from that, I'd probably keep him in most scenarios. And yeah, I think Gordon was huge for me. It's probably one of the biggest returns I've had this season because I gained so many points and so much rank from that Gordon goal and assist. Good luck, Badgeraz. Good luck, Zvonimir, as well. A whole host of names, some really good ones. Sí, hablo español en casa. Tengo doble nacionalidad. Good luck as well, El Padrino. Get better, Dylan. We've got back to FPL this coming week, and month, and your ideas and content are hella crucial. Yeah, look, no matter what, I will be, trying my best to do all the videos and streams that I normally do. I'll keep you updated, of course. Tomorrow's going to be next week is going to be very busy for me, and the week after, but I'll still do my best to navigate everything and find a way to get everything done. One guy in my mini league outscored me with 15 points, 2 pens, Willian out of nowhere. And the pens were very dubious, to say the least. Wolves, once again, shafted by VAR and the referees. Can we still reflect on how we got that Haaland league last time? Yeah, I think also for the Liverpool game, that same source, FPL Tony, he also said Haaland starts, which, to be honest, we all expected him to anyway. But yeah, he's been quite reliable. No Sommer out. Well, with Sommer, he's probably going to be in the squad, but Inter Milan are expected to rotate very heavily. Thank you, Sports. You two have a good day. I rage quit out of UCL Fantasy last game week, but I'm still here following the stream. I appreciate that. I would suggest going back into it. UCL Fantasy can be frustrating, just like any fantasy game, but I find it a bit of fun and a welcome distraction from FPL. Manuel Ribeiro says, who would you captain between Kane and Saka? I'm quite divided as well. Saka's produced double-digit returns in both of his home games so far, but I'd go for Harry Kane if we get the feeling that he starts. Can you cover Bowen news if possible? We don't have anything concrete, basically, but he almost made it for the weekend. He didn't. I would expect him to be back for Game Week 14, so I'm not sure why so many people are selling him, as I discussed in the reaction stream on Sunday. So I personally would hold Bowen. I'll try to cover him in more detail in the trans tips, and hopefully by then we have a definitive update. Goldhead says, agreed. I would say Son as a hold, but with Spurs injuries and other options makes sense to sell. Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. If the only way you can get to Mbumo, Saka or Salah is by selling Son, I would do it because those options are better at the moment. But apart from that, I mean, if Bowen's available, you could argue he's better than Son, but Son is still top 5 midfielders in the game for me, or top 6, so it's difficult. Both my fantasy games are very unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, early in the season, I was also struggling in both fantasy formats. I'm now doing quite well in UCL Fantasy and okay in FPL. Nuclear Am says, I've never seen a manager like Inzaghi rotating so much in UCL like he's playing FM. Yeah, or yeah, FIFA even. That's what I would do when I've got the group wrapped up, but not when I've got, first place to play for. Like an Inter Milan fan said earlier, basically, they have a huge game against Napoli at the weekend, and they're looking to win Serie A. They're the favourites right now. And also, they're probably kind of expecting or relying to get a point or a result against Benfica and then beat Real Sociedad in that head-to-head in Matchday 6. Thank you to Misho. I appreciate that. And yeah, thank you very much for the kind words. Yeah, predictions. We'll go through that Twister Parky. So just to read yours. 3-0 Shakhtar. I went for 2-1. 2-0 Lazio, same here. Hopefully that's the case, so I get my clean sheet. Barca 1-1. Young Boys 2-2. I've gone for that as well. 3-0 City. 1-0 Dortmund. 1-1 PSG and Newcastle. Feyenoord to lose 3-2 to Atletico. Summer starts. You heard it first. Let's wait and see. That'd be a big boost for those that have Summer. My differential squad dominated my main squad in FPL by 20 points. Yeah, FPL has been very difficult this season. And a lot of luck involved. Like this week with Gordon. In my updated team selection video, as a proposed transfer, I was talking about Gordon to Mbumo, and that would have been a disaster if I went through with that in Matchday 13. So it is what it is. FPL and UCL Fantasy can come down to luck. Do you feel it's easier to gain rank in the knockouts? That's a good question. I think, to be honest with you, the way it goes is the further you get into the competition, I think the more difficult it is because the teams start to become more similar. In the group stages, you have so many different teams and options. Match day 7 to, let's say, 9, 10, there's still quite a lot of variance in different teams. But once you get to the semi-finals, I'm afraid that's where things get very tricky. So, yeah, I think there's still possibilities to make up rank, but it's going to be very difficult from match day 11 onwards. Number 1 in the RCM League has doubled up on Lazio and bought in Morata, among other moves. Hopefully that bodes well for me then, because he's like 18th ranked in the world. And also I brought in a Lazio player myself. In FPL, I've fallen off so much in the last 5 weeks. Still in a good position, exactly. Even though my team looks good, just missing Watkins, at least I have the wild card. The thing is with Watkins, though, after Bournemouth, he faces Man City and Arsenal back-to-back, and the fixtures are quite poor. Thank you, Zvonimir. I appreciate that. What's your decision on changing channel name? Nothing definitive yet. I mean, maybe for SEO purposes and in terms of getting more traction, it might help. So there could be a time where I change it to FPL Dylan, but in the future, this channel could become something else, you know, talking about gaming or football in general, which I did when I first started off this channel. So I'm not ruling that out either. I do like my name just because it's unique. Everyone has FPL in their name. I think it's kind of boring, but I might do it just for the, basically just to get more traction. It could help, and it's not a guarantee anyway. So I'm going to assess it and see if it's worth the change. Thoughts on Bakayoko? Not really a big fan either way. I think there are better options elsewhere. You think Christensen starts? No. As for Ake, also probably not. Son had 3 big chances and 2 inside the penalty box. Yeah, it's just the timing of the runs was a bit off, but Aston Villa is a game that suits him. And against Man City, you know, Son has a good record against them. So, you know, my prediction right now is probably 3 or 4-1 City, and I think Son will score. So let's wait and see. Good luck, Miguel Costa. No news so far. Either way, it's all out of our control. We have passed the deadline. Just seen the full interpreted lineup from Sky. Yeah, we covered it earlier, right? Yeah, my goodness, that is what you call rotation. Yeah, pretty much everyone is a B team player. Dylan, I think you should end the stream now. Don't stress yourself much. Job done for today. Yeah, just go for the last few questions and comments quickly, and then I'll end it. But yeah, I've made a lot of progress today. You know, yesterday I was worse because I couldn't even speak for like a minute straight. At least I could now. And I'm taking a lot of different vitamins, everything to get better. So I should be back. Because I'm not a yellow flag player, but yeah, I should be better soon, just a matter of when. I've got an FPL question because I can't wait until Saturday. Should I keep Hwang or take hits to get Mbeumo instead of him? Hwang is still decent, and him being on penalties is a big plus, but I'd probably look to sell to Mbeumo even for a hit. Will I stay at the bottom in the end if I join your UCL league tonight? Well, basically, if you join the UCL Fantasy League now, it will count your points from match day 1, so you won't be bottom necessarily. Thank you, Sanjay. Uncharted, yeah, Uncharted. Oh god. If you want to see me raging, because normally I'm quite you know, relaxed and chill, composed, people say in these streams. Check out that video. It's a different side to me. What video games do you play, Dylan? Great question. I'm currently playing Mass Effect. I played 2 and 3. But I never played the first one, and I've now got the Legendary Edition on PS5, and I got it for free, so I'm playing Mass Effect 1. I recently played Spider-Man 2. I also played Jedi Survivor. Before that, I played Skyrim. I don't know how so late to the party, but Skyrim, I love that game. Witcher 3 as well, I played recently. I played that so much, basically up until this year. So, yeah, those are the games I'm playing. Right now, it's Mass Effect. After that, I'll be probably looking at games like Elden Ring. Oh no, I don't play EFC. I haven't bought it this year. I don't think I will. It would be good if you keep it. Do a football talk stream as well. Yeah. Let's wait and see. Ask him what your name means. Right center mid. I'm joking. No, it's basically my initials. So of course, I've included my second name in there and both of my family names basically. Shakhtar scored. Was it? Wait. Who scored? That's going to be the question. I'm not watching the game right now. Let's have a quick look and see. Is it the guy that everyone spoke about in today's video? Let's have a quick look. But yeah, it is 1-0 already. Matvienko scored, and it's assisted by Zubkov. So 1-0 to Shakhtar Donetsk. Lazio is still 0-0, and honestly, I wouldn't mind that because I've got a Lazio defender. Don't go yet. Champions League Fantasy is the antidote. I'm not sure about that, to be honest. It might make it worse. Please don't change to FPL, Dylan. It's so generic. You can add FPL in a creative way to break out from the system. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it might help with the traction, but I just don't like the lack of originality, really. yeah, it's just the way I feel about it. So everyone just has FPL in the name. So yeah, I'm quite happy with how it is right now. Any news? No. I went for Limitless, says Dara. Thoughts? Well, as we covered, unfortunately, ter Stegen's out. We covered this. He's not in the squad for Barcelona, so he will not play. Apart from that, Sane's benched out, but I think he'll start, personally. The rest looks amazing, to be honest. The only issue you have is ter Stegen, but Raya should be enough anyway. It's just a shame that you didn't go for Providel or Riznik, which we covered in this video. If Bird is out for 14, reckon he's a sell. Depends how long he's out for, but yeah, I mean, you'd kind of lose patience with that. And I'm honestly looking to buy Mbeumo anyway. The Derby to Mbeumo looks very simple, but I could always maybe delay that move by another week. Buy Mbeumo for Bowen now, and then I could buy another midfielder entirely for the Derby when he plays Man City. Big question, keep Gordon or go for Palmer? Keep Gordon. Now look, it's not like Gordon's all of a sudden much better than Palmer, but from what we've seen this season, Gordon's shown much more in terms of open play, goal threat and creativity. Maybe creativity is not the right one because Palmer has been quite good, but in terms of open play threat, scoring goals, we haven't seen that from Palmer. Yeah, sure, Pranav. I'll do that very soon. Don't worry. I'll just whiz through these. Thanks, Dylan, for your commitment and help. Cheers. Thank you. The way you bring up your comments on screen is really good. Yeah, I don't think I'm the only person who does this, by the way, but in fantasy, there's not many who do, I believe. And it's just a good way to keep track. But do you know what's annoying? Sometimes someone spams the same question, it's highlighted, I answer it, and they still repeat the question. I'm like, you know what? There's not more I can do. Elden Ring. Yeah, I know it, mate, but come on. You know, I've got other priorities, and also I had a long list of games to play, and I'm loving Mass Effect right now. Honestly, no, Goldhead. I used to like online games. I think Uncharted back in the day was really good. Halo, which to be honest, I didn't play much of. But Counter-Strike back in the day, we're talking about like 20 years ago. F1 can be fun, but that's not really great online. I played a lot of FIFA online, which is just toxic and awful. Scripting, I don't want to go into that. But yeah, online games, I'm not sure. Old COD games are quite good. Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, but yeah, I think Uncharted was my favorite online game back in the day. Uncharted 2 specifically. I had my 5 strain in a football game on Monday as well. Injuries everywhere, and we both yellow flagged. Yeah, it was kind of an orange yesterday. 50% like Bowen. But now, a bit better. That's why I'm here. It was a defender, says Badgeraz. Yeah, exactly that. Matvienko. Actually, I think Arsenal linked him. Yeah, centre-back, yeah. I'm not watching today's early kickoff. What about you? Probably not, because literally the only player I have is a defender, and I'm hoping for them to keep a clean sheet. Yeah, I'll go for the predictions quickly, and then we can hop off. I have gone through them before, but here we go. So I've gone for 2-1 Shakhtar Donetsk, 2-0 Lazio, 2-1 Barcelona, and then, yeah, 2-2 between Young Boys and Crvena Zvezda, 3-1 Man City, 2-1 AC Milan, 2-1 PSG, and a draw between Feyenoord and Atletico, but I might change that to a 2-1 Atletico win. But yeah, those are my predictions as things stand. Things aren't looking too bad so far. Let's see if Lazio can get a goal. Don't forget to predict in the Discord server, which I will post tomorrow. Yeah, I'll try to. Thank you for that. Why sell some of it to ter Stegen if you can keep ter Stegen for Game Week 6? Well, because there's still the odd chance that Sommer plays. It's not an ideal situation either way, but yeah, it's kind of a difficult situation. And with ter Stegen, I mean, he's a bit more expensive. You can go to more goalkeepers, but yeah, either way, it's not an ideal one. You're the first person making me feel good keeping Gordon. Hey, I've got him myself, and he just delivered 13 points. He's one of the highest scoring midfielders in FPL. And yeah, I agree wasting it to an extent. Palmer has been decent. He's got a lot of potential, but in FPL, in terms of goal potential, he has been a penalty merchant. Not right now, Goldhead, but I used to play a lot of football basically every day. I was a goalkeeper, believe it or not. I think I started out goalkeeper, then went striker, then went back to goalkeeper, then defender, then midfielder. I kind of played everywhere, but yeah, I think my best positions were goalkeeper and striker, I think, yeah. I'm quite short for a goalkeeper, I'd say, but reflexes, mate, and reactions. Do you think fantasy football improves something in our daily lives? Just adds stress, to be honest, not worth it. I don't know. I mean, I think it's just quite fun. I think what it does is it keeps you more engaged in some results that you probably wouldn't care about normally, like Brentford against Luton. Who would give a crap about that? No offense to Brentford and Luton fans, but now when you have Mbeumo, you want him to do well. It kind of adds something different to your viewing experience. Bowen is having water in the knee. Yeah, exactly. But Moy still said after that update that he had a chance of playing over the weekend. I just platinum Elden Ring. Nice. Yeah, I can't lie. I'm a bit of a trophy hunter myself. Basically, if I like a game, I'll go all out and platinum it. Like Mass Effect right now, I'm looking to do. I platinum Skyrim, Witcher 3. I'll see if I can platinum Elden Ring. It's just one of those games that could really frustrate me. Why do you think you'll go through to the round of 16 of UCL? Oh, who do you think? Barcelona and Porto. Atletico Madrid and Feyenoord. Manchester City and Leipzig. PSG and Dortmund. Arsenal and PSV. Man United and Bayern Munich. I still think Man United will actually. That's a bit of a tricky one, isn't it? Well, Bayern Munich will definitely. Well, they've already gone through. I'm not sure about the second one. I'm going to go for United. Real Sociedad and Inter Milan. Real Madrid and Napoli. And that's it. Yeah, we've covered everything. So, yeah, those are my predictions. Still 1-0 in the Shakhtar game, and the other one is 0-0 so far. Yeah, predictions tomorrow. I think you just saw them right now. And, yeah, just going to say my voice a little bit. Gilberto says, yeah, I stopped playing FIFA a couple of years ago. Yeah, mate, just so stressful. I mean, I typically play offline anyway, but I play pro clubs with friends and co-op seasons with certain people, and it can be fun, but sometimes you get to a stage where it's just clear scripting, and I've won most of my games. I'm not bragging or anything, but online, I'd win most of my games on FET, pro clubs, and specifically in co-op and normal seasons, but it's just so frustrating, honestly. It's just the gameplay is sometimes unplayable. I just noticed the gap is close. I have 268 points and sitting at 158k. Yeah, that's a really tight gap, so things can still change. I'm hoping for the best. I think that -4 hit could be a bit... well, it could push me back a little bit. Use the wildcard this week, and I'm at 3,960. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I wish I had that rank. And also, the wildcard. Striker back to goalkeeper. Fair enough. No, actually, I did all right in strike. I was doing well, but I just prefer goalkeeping. I don't know. I just like the anticipation, just the saves, you know, kind of reading what your opponent's going to do. I just like that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I like both sides of it, but... yeah, and also probably I was naturally better as a goalkeeper. Dylan's a utility player. I just say goalkeeper, but yeah, I'm versatile, yeah. Viewer nowadays never know. You used to be put in the same line with Werner. Yeah, the first time I showed myself in a video, that's all people said. Also Ramsdale as a gunner. Well, he's young, he's got potential, but Raya's the clear #1 right now. And Ramsdale has his odd moments of mistakes, like he showed the other day, but... yeah, I think a lot has been made about it because he's English and because he did really well last season. But yeah, you know, Arteta has a clear vision of what he wants from his goalkeeper. Raya's doing it for him, apparently. So yeah, I back both of them. I think they're both quite a similar level. Last season, both of them with Alisson, the top 3 goalkeepers in the Premier League. Let's see what they do now. I'm playing DM. That's why I love how Rice plays. Yeah. I have to say with Rice, a few years ago, back in 2018-19, I didn't see the hype, but... since 2021, I think, you know, watching him more, really impressed with him. And now, at Arsenal, he's gone up to a different level. Arsenal keeping eyes on Vlahovic. Yeah, we've been there before. Let's put it that way. Yeah, that question's being spammed horrendously. Look, the deadline's gone, mate. But I'd say Sane. The only issue is that he might be benched and Koeman's more likely to get the nod. But I'd say Sane. This is the first time I see McAllister with glasses. Yeah, I remember I was heading to the gym once and... I had like an Argentina like trousers on and someone saw me and they called me McAllister. So yeah, it's not the first time. Is there any City news? I don't think so. Apparently rumours of Ake not starting, but that's it. Messi or Haaland? Messi all day, mate. Then again, remember, I am Argentine, so I will be biased, but who's the best player in the world? It's Messi still. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy it or found it useful, then be sure to smash the like button and subscribe for new. We've been streaming for almost 3 hours, you could say. 2 hours, 40 minutes. And yeah, just about survived. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, DylanRCM. There's going to be much more content for Game Week 14, the transcripts video, best wildcard team, and the team selection. That is the plan. Hopefully tomorrow I can start recording all of those videos and the deadline stream. And of course, more stuff for UCL Fantasy ahead of Matchday 6. Good luck for Matchday 5. Let's see what it has in store for us. It's been a pleasure talking to you for the past 2 hours and a half. Score 29, only 1/7 of my attackers scored, rest of them blanked. Early kickoff players are on my team. Yeah, what are you talking about? You're talking about FPL, right? The FPL was a bit of a strange one. I've seen some very good teams with low scores, but it is what it is. I was lucky with Gordon and Lascelles. I got 65, but I'll talk more about that in the team selection video if I can get to it. Good predictions there, Twisted Parky. I've gone for 2-0 Arsenal, 2-1 Man United. Sevilla, I put a draw as well, but I put 1-1. Bayern Munich, I put 3-1. 2-1 Inter Milan, but I might change that based on the predicted lineups we're seeing. I went for 3-1 Madrid, although that could be 2-1. Sociedad 2-0, yeah, same. And 2-1 Braga, yeah. Similar predictions, a few of them we have differed on a little bit there. But I appreciate everyone watching. It's been great. Thank you, Badgeraz, as well. I appreciate that. There's a lot of different people out there, though, of course, but I appreciate the kind words. I'll see you very soon for more FPL and UCL Fantasy content. Take care, enjoy the football, and I'll see you next time.